Hello and welcome into the Hi-Rez update pre-show, powered by Hi-Rez, of course, brought to you by all the great folks here. We've got a lot of good stuff to talk about. We're going to be leading into the next updates coming into the game here as well. But who is this we that I'm talking about? Of course, I have Tina and Anna here with me, as always, the same way that we always do here on the update pre-show. So Tina, Anna, how are you all feeling after, the long break we had for this show?
Ready to get back in and do some shit.
Okay.
I just woke up 5 minutes ago. Can I go back to bed?
Glad you're able to make it here then.
Oh, my husband just came in.
I don't know. I feel like we just saw you kind of crawling out when we started up the show, so maybe you were right on that one, Anna. Let's talk a little bit about your shows that are coming up here today, and we can start here with you, Anna. What do you have coming up in the art show here for us today?
Well, of course, we missed everybody. It's been a long break, but we have such amazing art that we've acquired exclusively from Twitter because we can't find the submission forms. So we will be getting that fixed up. But we have amazing art. As always, our community always gives us such amazing work. So yeah, we've got some good stuff.
Yeah, we got a talented community, and glad we worked out that exclusivity deal so that we can get that stuff featured on here. Good work on that side with you all. Yeah, that was called Tina. We know that Oh My God is coming up, perhaps a perfectly named show for you. What can we expect from you today?
So today we're gonna go over Izanami, and we're gonna have our guest Fishman on the show. To talk about Izanami because he designed her. So that would be interesting and fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be fun, right? Yeah, Fish is my roommate, so if there's an accidental Finch cameo in that's just because I'm loud all the time. Back here in my room, so don't think anything about it if that comes up. So since we have been away, one of our new gods coming into the game here is Tiamat. So before we get into all the new shows and everything coming up today, I wanted to ask you all, how are you feeling about our brand new god in the game? Anna, you can go ahead and start us off.
Listen. A little snake mama, a big dragon dame. Are you kidding me? I am so excited about her. The reveal trailer was gorgeous. I'm just like, who? Like, Kukulkan who? Who is it? I know I'm gonna start a fight with some. I'm gonna start a fight with some people, but like seriously, the best dragon we've had in game by far. So best little noodle. I love her.
Big fan. And it is, at the very least. Tina, how'd you feel? I'm sure you did a little bit of work on her as well. Tell me about how you like Tiamat.
I really like her voice, and I really like her colors. She's like very slithery and scaly, and I really like to, you know how sometimes you want to touch things because you think they would feel nice, like how a snake feels when you touch them, but you don't expect it to feel nice. Well, I kind of want to like pet her. Is that weird? Like, I feel like she would feel nice. Anyway.
Hey, no. if it is weird, I won't say it. No chance.
Okay, good. I think
I like that you. Yeah, I like that you bring up kind of getting in touch sometimes, because I want to make sure we're getting more in touch with our own community. That's why I just went ahead and found a totally random, who knows what kind of post this is that I could talk a little bit about. So I'm going to read this here for you all. I'm a simple man with simple pleasures. After a long day on the ranch, I pour myself a tall glass of milk, have some paint, and log on to the Dell I got for Christmas in 2006 with Windows XP to play some Chalk. Chalk is my favorite god, and I only play Chalk. SMITE is, of course, down for maintenance. That's fine. I reheat a bowl of beans and lard for supper and gobble them down well ahead of schedule. I have some more paint to pass the time, and oh boy, does it pass. SMITE is ready to go by 7:30. Everybody keeps saying it's laggy, but I didn't notice any difference from usual. Maybe I'm just too intelligent, or maybe the paint is finally doing its job. I queue up Conquest, casual, of course. After 12 minutes, the queue pops, and Clippy asks me if I want help selecting my god. Now, no, not ever. I think boastfully at the cartoon paperclip. I, of course, lock in Chalk. I put on the Chocolat skin I got 2017 Easter from a chest. I love his velvet voice. He's chocolate. One of my teammates picks Loki. They have lots of stars around their ex. I have more, though. All my other teammates pick hot anime girls. I take one last good long huff to get ready for the game. And in we go! The first thing I notice that their team doesn't have a Chalk. Free win then. I go solo lane. I always go solo lane. I get teleport and build straight into Transcendence. They have a King Arthur. Pathetic. He hits like little baby. I hit the minions.
Okay,
I miss some creeps because I have 450
Can we just stop and just go to the Archer?
I won't. They're trying to hit me, but I feel
stop.
because I'm
is
shocked.
like...
See you later. Totally
Oh my god! I just want to go to the art show. Cut to the art show.
Oh my god.
Don't you
I
trust it?
love
I
that.
heal up because I'm shocked.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Hi-Rez Community Art Show. Man, I've missed you guys so much, but never fear, we have all your community art here for you. It's me, your girl Anna Buns, and with me as always, the effervescent landfish that she is, our darling Anna, or Bananimation. Hello, welcome.
Hi everybody! Oh my gosh, you cracked me up, Anna.
Well, I meant to say land mermaid, but then I was like, oh my god. Anyway, you know,
I mean,
it's been
I
so
like
long, I
landfish.
forget how to do this.
I think it's more appropriate.
Okay, all right. Well, good. It's good to see you, my love. Thank you again for joining us for the art show. We've got some really great stuff for you guys. As always, you guys have been just killing it on Twitter, sending us such amazing art. And we've got exclusively Twitter content for you today that all of our favorite community artists and some new ones have been tagging us in. So if we want to go ahead and jump right into it, because we've got a lot to talk about. So let's go. This first one is by our dearest, Cybe15. Anna, you know who Cybe is. We see her a lot. She always posts stuff for us.
Oh my god, I love Cybe's art.
I know,
much.
it's amazing. I'm pretty sure she does traditional mixed with some digital edits, right?
I think so, yeah. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
These all look
Pretty sure she
traditional,
does
though,
that.
don't
They do, but there is some, like there's some rim light on Daji and on Bastet that kind of alludes to possibly digital, unless she's that clean. Either way, like, I love this. This is so cool. And all the detail on Merlin too. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love how the colors are so vibrant. They're really pretty.
They really are.
Cybe,
Like the tassel.
good job.
As always,
Yes.
good job, Cybe. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and move on to the next piece we have. All right, a very rare Paladins piece that we have for today. It is by Danny NCL. I hope that's correct. This next one is Genos. And he's from Paladins, our amazing, wonderful Paladins community, always giving us some choice pieces. And it's just Genos chomping on a sunny side up egg with cheese and toast. This is awesome. It's just chill. It's just him with his hair up, because he usually has his hair down, doesn't he? Right? Like his original model.
I think so, yeah,
Yeah.
Just chilling with some toast, some breakfast.
I love that. That looks so good. Honestly, I love it when we take characters from Paladins or from SMITE and we draw them doing, like, you know, normal everyday human stuff. I kind of like that art so much more than, you know, all the crazy, more intense depictions of them. I mean, mind you, all of it is great, but it's just cool to see them kind of laid back and chill, you know?
Yeah, I love it. Just every day.
I love it.
Doing their everyday
Just
thing.
every day. That's awesome. All right, thank you so much to Danny NCL. Let's go ahead and move on to this next piece. Anna, could you please? This is your baby.
Oh my gosh. Tiamat! This looks beautiful. Oh my goodness, I saw this on Twitter too.
Yeah. This
I'm
is
not
by
sure the artist.
Kay Paro. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Oh, so beautiful.
But yeah, our first official Tiamat art that we were showing. Obviously, there's been a lot more, but this is the one that we decided to show for this episode. And honestly, like Tiamat, listen, Anna, as you were part of the animation team, correct? For Tiamat. How
Yes,
is
our
she
baby.
so detailed? She is so detailed. Are y'all tired over there? Like, oh my god.
Maybe a little bit, but it's so worth it for her. I love her.
Yeah.
She's so cool to work
I
on.
think you guys did an amazing job, and this piece of art is amazing too. And it's just so nice to see a character that's that fleshed out, same as Ao Kwang when we first released his remodel. But this is amazing, Kiparo. Thank you so much. Tiamat, always amazing. Moving on to this next piece, obviously we gotta shout out to our OG MS Paint Doodles. We always love the stuff they put out. This is just a beautiful Discordia just hanging out with her gold apple. And it's really cute.
You know,
I love it.
she's just doing her thing.
Yeah,
I love this.
just hanging out.
I really like
I do
the
too.
simplicity that like MS Paint has. I think that's really nice.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a refreshing thing to see. This is
It's very
lovely.
clean line art. And yeah, and then it's all you need, and we know exactly who it is, and it's really well done. The line art is nice and clean as it is in MS Paint. That's the OG. That's when we used to draw, what is it, like works of art. You remember like doing that different line strokes and then filling it with the paint bucket?
Always.
That was like Picasso level.
Mm.
Anyway, amazing job as always, MS Paint Doodles. We love your stuff. Moving on to this next one. Yo.
Oh my gosh.
This is by Ray and Vincent. And they were kind enough to tag us. Ray, yeah, they were kind enough to tag us in multiples that they've done before. But they actually did. They had all three of these characters different and like standing out in their own like colored version and everything. But I really decided to take this one because you have all three of them together, and I think they were using the classic like Japanese technique for brush pens. I think that's what they said.
Sumi brush, is that what it's called? I'm not sure.
Maybe.
This is gorgeous. I want a print of this. Please,
yeah, for real. This is amazing. So and I think they used, I think it's digital, but you know how nowadays you can use like watercolor brush sets and everything like that. But the way that they did it, it's insane.
Oh, Rayanne is so talented. Good job.
I know.
Oh, so beautiful.
This is beautiful.
Dang.
And Susano's face is giving me hot flashes. He's so hot. He's so handsome. Oh my goodness.
He's giving you the eyes.
Yeah, I know, right? Calm down, dude. Chill. You're drawing. I'm engaged. Chill out. Anyway, moving on. Thank you so much, Rayanne Vincent. This is amazing. Looking forward to some more stuff from you. All right, now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of this show, as we know from past shows. We love concept stuff here. We love concept stuff. This is by Shiny Fishbone, and this is a Court Jester Hunbats.
This is amazing. I love the colors.
I know.
I love that they have the abilities down there. That's so cool. Oh,
that's always a plus when they add the abilities.
Yeah. I like how he's kind of like a little bit kind of like a creepy monkey too. He's like
yeah.
I love it.
I mean, I don't know if you know, but like if you recall, the original, the OG Hunbats model is actually pretty creepy too. So it works perfectly.
I've seen it.
But yeah, the like OG from back in like 2015 or 2014. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, I love this so much. Back in the day, I think this could be like a legit skin. I would love to see a funnier skin for Hunbats for sure. Definitely. Oh, this is awesome.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Shiny Fishbone, for this one. We love concepts. Moving on to the next one.
Yes.
All right, Anna, you've got to introduce and you've got to tell us about this artist.
Oh my God, Smiskin. Yes, I told him, I was like, I'm gonna get your stuff on the art show, so just be ready. Smiskin's one of our community streamers, and he does these like amazing MS Paint doodles, like when he's waiting for cues and stuff. Oh, they kill me every single time. This is one of my favorites for sure.
They're so freaking cute, and mind you, y'all, there are way more. There's so much more, and you can find them. Obviously, all these artists, you can find them on Twitter. But like Anna says, there's a bunch of other ones. This one was just my favorite personally. Just that one. What is it? Ajax was the name of one of the dogs, Priscilla? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Achilles is one. Yeah.
Yeah. I love
this attitude.
Oh God. Oh, this is amazing. There's not much else to say except like, you know, take a gander. Peep this masterpiece.
I need a print of this.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Smiskin, and we'll be definitely looking forward to more that he does during his stream. So moving on to this next one, we've got Traxon Forever did this amazing Kumbhakarna piece. This is insanely stylized. It's so cool.
I love it. I love the texture of like the lines and the shading. That is really cool. Definitely a unique style.
It's really cool. It reminds me of a cool tribal tattoo. I love this. So cool. And I really like his little logo down the bottom. But yeah, this art style is really, really intense. I feel like it fits really well for Kumbhakarna. So thank you so much, Traxon Forever, for this piece. Moving on to this next one. something a
Yeah.
little softer, something a little nicer. We've got,
A
this one's
budding
by
breeze.
Ex Lichu, and it's Amaterasu and Bologna. Bologna kind of repping that Eric from Little Mermaid vibe. I kind of like it. But yeah, it's so sweet,
Yes.
and I kind of like this ship,
Yeah, I'm down with it. Heck yeah.
right? I love it.
love the
I
softness in
consider
the
Bologna that,
background. Oh,
yeah, it's so soft and so
perfect.
nice. The lighting's really good. I love that. I love a softer version of Smite where we're just shipping gods together that you wouldn't think. And I just love it. It's so cute. It's so sweet. Thank you so much, Ex
Yeah.
Lichu. So we're going to move on to the final and our personal pick of the show. Drum roll, blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah,
Pick
blah,
of the
blah.
show is this amazing this amazing piece of art and this concept by Eogen or Eofen. I'm so sorry if I always butcher your name. Please yell at me. But they did this amazing concept of Baba Yaga in the likeness of Yzma from my personal favorite Disney movie, the Emperor, How the Emperor Got His Groove Back, or The Emperor's New Groove, or
Emperor's
whatever.
New
I know I
Groove,
said it's my favorite. I know it's my favorite, but I forgot for a minute. I had a brain fart. But yes, Emperor's New Groove.
This is so
This is
good.
awesome.
It's so perfect.
Oh,
my
it's
God.
so
And
good,
maybe,
right?
like, just like an Emperor's New Groove line of skins. We could get Kronk in there. Yzma. It'd be so
Please.
perfect.
Please. I think
love
we
it.
were talking about it on Twitter where I think it was you or someone was like, "Oh my God, Kronk would be amazing." Somebody suggested Kronk for I don't know what kind of Smite god. If you guys know, please like hit us up or blow it up in chat while you're watching this. Let us know what what cool Emperor's New Groove characters would work for this. But yeah, thank you so much, Eofen, for that piece. That's our pick of show. We loved it. And thank you for always submitting and tagging us. And it's been a steady flow. I know we've been gone for a while, but you guys have been consistently impressing us with all of your work. So as you know, the challenge, since we've been talking about shock and everything like that, the challenge is going to be draw shock. We're going to do it. Y'all are going to do it. It's going to be great. Draw your favorite skin, draw your favorite whatever. It's going to be amazing. So anyway, moving on. Thank you so much, Anna Bananimation. You can follow her on Twitter for being here and co-hosting as always. And I've been Anna Buns, and stay tuned for Oh My God with Old Teener. And bye, everyone, and I love you.
Bye.
Another excellent episode of the art show. Great job as always on that. And also welcome back then to the update show, pre-show that we're doing, obviously powered by Hi-Rez. And I'm still, of course, joined here by Tina and Anna. Another excellent job on these vlogs. You guys make it hard for me to do this month at Smite because I got to be at the end of this, following up all these excellent shows. A lot of pressure that you all put me under. But now that we're here in the post-art block, yeah. I'm sure you were very sorry for it. You're going to make your show slightly worse so I can look a little bit better. Thank you. Anna, this is kind of your segment now. We're in the post-art show here, so I'm going to let you kind of run the show for me.
Thanks so much, Finch. Well, guys, we had an amazing show. We had a great time. If you don't remember, chalk is the hotness, apparently. Lots of sweat happening on my end. I don't know about y'all, but I'd like to go ahead and dedicate the next art challenge, we're still doing those if you remember, to Chalk. Exclusively to Chalk. Draw his favorite skin that you like, because he has so many. Draw him shirtless. Draw him, I don't know, make it a pizza. Just draw Chalk. For our dear Redditor that gave us that amazing story. Yeah, just draw a beefy, wonderful man. Do it, please.
Wait, do I have time to bake beans and a thing of lard? Can I do? There's so many references.
We're doing it right now. Get to it.
I'm doing it.
I'm actually nailing this one. You guys might remember that I've struggled in the past, not anymore. Taking some art lessons.
Oh my god.
Oh, like 30 seconds. There's no chance.
30 seconds. This is killing me. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, this is like really rough. This
He has
is
so
like
much
Un
detail.
momento, por favor. I just gotta get some body parts in there. You just kind of just see Chalk's eyes. He's got that mask on or whatever. I wish I knew more about what it was. He has a shield. Yo! I ran out.
Done.
No, I'm not done.
Me neither. I'm snealing in some more work.
That's rude.
Yeah, sneak, sneak, sneak.
That
sneak,
boo
sneak,
better be
sneak.
for the other two, not for me. I did my homework.
Okay.
Yay.
Who is showing first?
Are we showing it?
Oh, we'll go one at a time, right?
Yeah.
Finch, you first.
Oh, Finch first. Yeah, let's keep the bar low. All right. Here's my chalk, everybody. Can you guys see that? He's got an axe.
Oh my
Very strong
God.
chest. You know. I got to the shield over there.
Does he have
And
double,
he's got a little baby
double
leg.
breast?
You know. That he catches up. Hope you all are
Oh
enjoying
my
that. That's
God. Listen, he hasn't
Ugh.
been skipping that one leg day.
When it rains, it pours.
One leg
that
day.
sounded like Chuck, yeah.
Well, I drew a female big titty lady version
Oh, you nailed it!
Oh,
because I felt like she would be hot.
hey
Right?
girl, you want my job?
Why is it
Yeah,
so
you-
good? You only
Oh,
had
I
a minute
like
like the
that.
rest of us. Oh, it's really
Wouldn't
good.
that be cute?
Your
Oh,
chalk
I
has
Her
like
hair.
hair is like flowing like waves and shit, and she's just like, yes, I am thunder. You know, like.
So can we
right?
do that for her next skin?
I can't wait for
Okay,
it,
so
right?
Let's do it
We
for
got-
Chalk skin.
Yeah.
We gender bent other gods. Why not?
Yeah.
She would be so hot, Jennifer. She'd be like a Wheelix's sister.
Oh my god, they might be the hottest pantheon between those two.
Oh
I
my
know,
God.
right?
All right. I didn't go too crazy. I just drew a
Oh
little
my
head.
goodness!
You're both smarter. I either needed to be able to draw a whole body or just do a part I can do. This is. It's all good.
Thanks, y'all.
You got a good
Okay.
chalk line for us?
Oh, I see that joke. That's funny.
All right, so we all did a little bit of drawing here to celebrate the art show. As always, we appreciate your submissions. Make sure you keep putting those in, and we will get you featured on the art show in the future. So that was Enna's excellent show. Next up is Oh My God, featuring Tina. You will not want to go anywhere, as that's coming up next.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Tina. Welcome to Oh My God, the show where we talk about all things Smite Gods. Today, we have our special guest, Titan Forge Fish, who will be talking about Izanami. Yay! Izanami. Oh, thank you. Look at that. We get claps too now. That's kind of fun. You know, she's dead and rotting and stuff, but besides that, she's pretty cool in other ways. Let's get going and talk about Lauren 60 seconds. Wow, Lauren 60 seconds. I'm stuttering. My bad. It's okay. I do that a lot. Ready? Go! Oh, right. Okay. So she is the daughter of Kuniko Tachi, whatever, and Amina Manakanushi, who are the first gods of this lore thing. And Izanami is desired to be mated. So her and Izanagi, this other dude, make this palace and then this like heavenly pillar thing. And there's a ceremony that goes on where they have to like walk around the ceremony, but then Izanami says like something to him first, and she's not allowed to do that. So that when she gave birth the next week or whenever she does, she gives birth to some deformed babies, and that's not good for some reason. And then she does the ceremony again with Izanagi, and this time he talks, and then they have healthy babies. But then there's like this baby that comes out of her vagina that's like a fire baby and burns her alive. So then when she's burned, she gets sent to the oh no! I didn't finish it.
You did pretty well. You had a little trouble with the names, but
I
you
know,
had the plot
They're
pretty
such
well.
long
Yeah.
names.
Yep,
I nearly said the
Yeah.
end when she gets sent to the dead place.
that's right.
And then
that's
I
right,
was
which
done.
is the important part, especially in Smite.
Yes, I nearly got there. Anyway, she gets sent to the land of the dead, because
Yomi,
she's a burnt dead person. But you can tell us the
She's
rest of
not.
the story if you want, Fish.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So after giving birth to the god of fire, who is fiery from his very beginning, she perishes and goes down to the underworld.
Mhm.
Izanami, her husband, goes down to look for her, and it's really dark. He has to go in this deep cave, and when he gets there, he can't see her, so he just calls out. He's like, "Hey, you want to come back up to the world of the living? It seems kind of creepy down here." And she says, "Let me see if I can. I've eaten some food down here. I don't know if it's okay." And while he's waiting, he takes a little pin out of his hair and he lights it on fire as a torch. And then he sees her, and she's decomposing because she's dead. And he sees it. He's like, "Whoa, am I out of here?" And he starts running back out of the cave to the real world. And she gets mad. She's like, "Oh, you think I'm ugly? You think this is my fault?" She starts chasing him. She sends some gods after him. She sends this underworld
Minions.
crone after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. And then he barely makes it out, puts a rock in front of the cave, and it's like, "No one's coming out of this." It's like, "Oh yeah, you think that's funny? I'm gonna kill 1,000 people a day because you locked me down here." And he's like, "All right, well, I'll just make sure at least 10,000 people are born every day. So how do you like them apples?" So yeah, but you did a good job.
Yeah.
I give you 8 out of 10.
Thanks. Oh, thank you. That's too kind of you. Well, anyway, we brought Fish here because Fish is the designer for Izanami, and Fish, please tell us why you loved the Japanese pantheon so much and why you made nearly half of our Japanese gods. Thanks.
Yeah, so I lived in Japan for a while. I studied Japanese. I absolutely love the culture. And since I started working on SMITE, it was like something I was really excited about to see if we could bring the Japanese pantheon into it. And eventually we were. And I've really tried to both work hard on the Japanese gods I was able to design on, as well as help people out when they were designing the Japanese gods. And Izanami was one of the ones I got to work on. So really exciting stuff.
And so, because of that, like, is there a reason, since we went through this whole lore story already, was there a reason why we
Mhm.
chose to do Izanami and not Izanagi?
Sure. My reason is because Izanami is exciting and Izanagi is boring. He holds a spear and walks around a pillar and then gets scared out of a cave. Whereas she gets to do all the cool stuff. She gets to give birth to half the gods. She gets to go into the underworld and have both a life side and a death side. And she
Yeah.
gets to command all these spirits. She has a lot of cool, exciting story and gameplay hooks. Whereas he is just kind of like a powerful guy in a traditional garb with a spear, and that's just way less exciting to me than all the cool stuff we did with Izanami.
Cool. That's cool. And is there so okay, let's go into this question first then, since we have the concept here. So was there
Sure,
like anything particular you were looking for when you were, coming up with how you wanted her to kind of look like?
sure. So
Like what
there
did
were
you
all kinds
request
of
from them?
things.
Okay.
Yeah. So one of the things was this kind of tension between life and death, and this, and you can see in all of these different concepts an integration of traditional clothing with some beyond the grave monsteriness, right? And it came out
Right.
in different ways in each of the different concepts, but they all are kind of putting those against each other. And another thing that we were looking for was interesting Japanese weapons, because we have a lot of stuff from the Greco-Roman culture that a lot of people are familiar with, and the
Hmm.
Japanese. Martial cultures developed entirely separate from that. So we really wanted to delve deep into some cool weapons that they have that other pantheons didn't have available.
Right. That is really very interesting because these concepts look so like they look very different from one
Yeah,
another. And then
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
assuming this is
yeah.
like more the final stage. What we're seeing right now is more of the final stages of what we wanted her to be, and I
Sure, you
think
can
she
see a
turned out
lot of
really
what she turned
cool.
into
Yeah.
from B and C. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, and she like has that very like zombie like animation, like when she walks and stuff, which is hella creepy. Um, I mean, I love
yeah.
it. I love that she has that, like you saying, like dead and have alive look.
Yeah, I think that was something, if I recall correctly, that Chuck felt strongly about. These are Andy Tim's concepts, and he did a really good job. But I oftentimes a lot of the horror driving what came from Chuck's direction. That was something that he
Right.
always tried to put into stuff. And it was
Because it's
definitely
Chuck.
something that yeah, yeah, that everybody got excited about, and you can see manifest in both the concepts and the final model.
Yeah. These are
Going back and looking at these concepts, I like all of them. Like there are directions
Yeah,
we
they're
took and
really
there are directions
cool.
we didn't take, but there's a lot of really cool stuff, even in the directions we didn't take. So really happy with those.
Yeah, and I like that we did the red too. It's very like, as you'll see in these
Mhm.
color variants, I like the red too when we, decided for what color she should be because it's so Japanese. Like the color
Japanese, and
of
also evokes
right.
blood a little. Like it
Yeah,
does a lot of
it's
lifting
alluding
there.
at a lot of the things. Even though I do like
Mhm.
all these other ones, like I really like the purple one and the green one because green's my favorite color, so I would
Yep.
definitely rock that green one. But but yeah. Okay, so I have another question for you. Why did we make her a
Sure.
hunter and not like a mage or anything like that? Like, did we ever
That,
like to me? I would think that
I
she would be more of a mage, but it's interesting that
I
we chose
don't
her as a hunter.
remember the specific reason. I would guess it had to
It
do
was
with
lineup.
what we needed in the schedule,
Yeah,
and
thought so.
we were both excited about her and Hunter in the same time, and so we headed that direction. Um, I know the way her kit turned out, it's all based around those Kama sickles, and that was like we as you saw in the concepts, we looked at a lot of different interesting weapons, and by the time we got those definitely felt Hunter-like because we were throwing them and having them come back.
Yes.
But I don't remember the original, like, this was the reason she went Hunter. It's been a while.
Right. And were there any like crazy difficulties when you were making her kit? Like, was there some funny bugs or any like things that had to
There
change drastically or anything like that?
There's always more to the story than we see. The two things I remember were that the ult was a big pivot mid or late into it. And we had some other crazy ideas like our programmer, Nick Boffman, wanted to have a giant animated skeleton called the Gasha Dokuro come out. And that was one thing we talked about.
What?
The other thing I remember is that her attack stem was originally she would toggle it and her combos would stick into whatever surface they hit. So you'd aim it like towards a wall or a tower or something, and then you toggle it off, and all the ones that had stuck there would be pulled back to her, and you had this crazy burst of projectiles going through the enemies. And that was something we took out because we were unable to find a satisfying point of balance. It was kind of weird having them stick there, and then just all the projectiles at once coming back was really strong in a very short span of time. Both of those are things we moved away from.
Wait. Okay, so those are really cool, but could you what you said something about a large skeleton and then I kind of like was
The
like
Gasha
what?
Dokuro. It's another
What is
Japanese
that?
monster. It's like this. It's like a house-sized skeleton that crawls and has a giant mouth. And that was something we talked about. But it would be another obviously massive model, and because we had come to that idea later during the development process, it wasn't
Yeah,
really
time.
practical for us to add a whole nother. It'd be like adding a pet to a god midway through. Whenever we do a pet god or a stance changer,
Yeah.
we decide that from the beginning, and then we allocate time and resources to make it happen. You can't just change your mind to that and still deliver on time.
Right. Wow.
And then there was also the rest of the design team pitched in some thoughts and just wanted a little bit more skill shot for the hunter. And so that's where we went with the ultimate we had is to have both. It's a skill shot just landing a circle and also some counterplay with having it have a large warm up so enemies can see it, respond to it, and get out of the way if they're quick.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. It's kind of fun that we did choose Izanami out of like so many other, gods. Did we make her first before we made Raijin? I don't remember actually.
I could check. I don't know off the top of my head. I know Amaterasu was the first, but I don't remember who was after that.
Yeah, that was good times. I liked a lot. It was good. All right, so my last question to you is, would you be her friend IRL?
Ooh, probably not. At least, so I could be the friend with like pre-death Izanami. She seems pretty cool, but post-death is kind of spiteful and malevolent, and it'd be tough. I don't know. Might have to swipe left on that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, I'm very scared of zombies and corpses. So when we first said this, I was like, oh my god, she's gonna be like, I can't play her because she's so scary. But no, she's she's not dead. Like, she's not a zombie. So I'm okay. I have a very irrational fear of zombies for some reason. I can't play like zombie games or zombie shows or zombie anything for some reason. But thank you, Fish. I really appreciate you being here and explaining.
Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. Yeah, all the claps. All the Izanami things, and I'm looking forward to having you here on the show again soon.
Yeah, that'd be my pleasure.
Yeah. All right. And then I just want to say to everyone, thank you for coming and tuning in, and also check out This Month in Smite with Finch up next.
Another great episode of Oh My God featuring Tina. The only thing I know for sure when I think about Tina is we're gonna have fun. Not 100% sure how we always get there, but it'll be a good time on Oh My God. So welcome back to the update show, pre-show here with Finch, Tina, and Anna. Tina, I mean, talk to me a little bit about making the show and how you like it.
Yeah, I really like it. It's a challenge sometimes for me to do lore in 60 seconds, but besides that, it's really fun with all the guests and stuff that I know so well. So yeah, we have a good time. Why not?
Had Fish on, right? Hard not to have fun. And you're hanging out with Fish as well. So since we've just finished up kind of an in-depth look at gods, and we're moving on to This Month in Smite after this, where we see people maybe having a hard time enjoying Smite, I thought it might be fun to look back at how we all kind of got started in Smite. So Tina, if you want to tell me how you kind of got first started playing or working here, I'd love to hear it.
Well, it's quite a long story, but I'll try and keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Are you laughing at me?
Yes.
Stop laughing at me! I'm trying to explain it! Okay, so...
I'm listening, hold on.
I got into it... wait, which one am I doing? The Smite one or the working one? Because they're two different ones. I'll just do the Smite one.
Yeah.
So... It's just all laughing. That's how I got into Smite. Laugh.
Look at it.
Yeah, just all laughing. Okay, so I got into Smite because I really like mythology, and my background is art history, and my husband was like, at the time, hey, you should check out this game because it's like mythology based and blah blah blah, and it would really fit into your art history and stuff, so go have fun with it. And then I was like, what, there's a mythology game? Blah blah blah, it's made in Smite, made from Smite, and it's made in Atlanta, I'll go try and check it out. And then I also tried to apply for an internship there, and then I got it, and then yeah, that's history.
Nice job. Glad that we have you here and that it fit in so well with your past. We eventually got to the meat of the story. Anna, feel free to laugh as well, but how'd you kind of get started enjoying Smite?
Well, I remember young Tina as an intern right when I started, and we were firm friends immediately, and I loved her, so that brings back memories. But I got started in Smite and in Hi-Rez in general by very awkward means. I won't go into too much detail, but I drew a very detailed something on a receipt while I was hanging out with all of the Hi-Rez people at PAX Prime in Seattle. They noticed, and then a couple weeks later, they were in need of a 2D artist. One of my friends that saw the receipt said, "Oh, Anna draws really good." And so I got a job based on the merit of drawing on a receipt, and from then on it was just that's it. That's how I got my job.
I hope we have a lot of guesses going on in chat right now about what it was that you drew. I've got one in particular as a front runner for me right now. We don't have to say.
A penis?
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to steal her guess, but that would be my guess also.
I think that's the word, right? Yeah.
Well, this is a health class, let's be, yes.
All right.
She's really good at them too.
Drawing an eggplant emoji.
Yeah.
Everyone knows, I think, how I got started, right? I mean, I was on the caster. Hopefully everyone watches that. That might be a little too ambitious. Some people watched it. I did not win, but I did eventually get the job here anyway, thanks to Hinderman. He worked hard for me. Just saw Smite out there. It looked like a lot of fun. Played it almost every day, and now here I am with the rest of you all, hanging out with Tina and Anna, who have a great friendship that I'm happy to be here and a part of. So next up is going to be my own show this month in SMITE. If you all want to be in it going forward, make sure you submit your clips. You could be in the very next episode. So let's go ahead and roll into this month in SMITE. Welcome in, SMITE fans, to another episode of This Month in SMITE. My name is Finch, and it's been a while since we've recorded one of these episodes. I mean, a lot has changed, right? We've got a new map, crowned some new champs, ejected a blonde orange, and I just want to make sure that I'm going back to that amorphous blob of time that is December to February and pick the very best clips. If you want your clips to be some of those very best clips, then use the link in the description and make sure you get your clips submitted. So we'll begin this episode with a tribute to the Season 7 map, starting with the GOAT finding a way to get a quadra kill only like 4 or 5 minutes into the game.
Put your faith in none but yourself. Pistols. Enemy missing right. A pair of foes, no match for you. Anytime. Be careful, middle. Enemies behind us. Get off of them. Get in my belly. Triple kill.
Okay, dude. Kinda a little bit styling.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Adapting was retired or something like that. We did this whole video. Doesn't seem like he is. Next up, though, Naja gets stuck between a rock and El Leon's hard place.
Show me what you got. Good job, everyone. I'll show you my power.
What did you dirty-minded people think that I meant? Yeah, he got stuck between Kabrak and Wall, guys. So next up, some poor schmuck gets flattened by a Giannis.
Some heals. Wait, this is really good.
Yeah, bit unlucky there for Zen. Maybe I turned this tribute to Season 7 segment into a, yeah, they totally meant to do that with Giannis segment. And we plan on buffing this guy, so yeah, enjoy this vid.
I must protect our great nation.
Oh, the secure.
Dare to end your streak of carnage.
What did Adapting say? Objective secured? Yeah, exactly, as he drew that one up. Next up, Zeros.
A new threshold.
Yeah, Zero's definitely meant to get 1, can't really say meant to get 2. Now it's time for our next segment. This is my personal favorite segment, What Could Go Wrong? And we'll keep the Giannis plays going as what could go wrong when all you're doing is soloing a Cupid.
Oh gee, I'm not worried about the key.
That is very unfortunate.
Oh my god, so annoying!
Yeah, poor Zapman, played perfectly, punished. Next, what could go wrong when all you're doing is sieging a base?
We go mid, right?
Alright, so it turns out Ducky already has his new strats for Season 8 ironed out. He'll just go ahead and show us those next season, I imagine. Also, what could go wrong when all you're trying to do is dive a new wall? Wow, none of the things that you thought were gonna go wrong in that one went wrong, right? It was just a bad day for that guy. All right, but surely nothing could go wrong if all you're trying to do is stun Johnny in the middle lane.
Not really few beats. Dude, was that not the best play in SMITE history? Like, oh.
Wait. Let's take another look at that one, Jordan. Go back. There were 2 Mercuries, an old something like that. Let's take another look. Yeah, we definitely need to slow that one down. Baiting out Merc Dash and answering with your own dash. Johnny, guys, pretty good. Do we have any more Johnny clips maybe we could show?
Be careful, be careful. Retreat. Need healing.
Of course, we had another Johnny clip. That way we found out what could go wrong if you try to step into that guy. Obviously not a good time. Next up, we find out if you're a mage, what could go wrong if you try to 1v1 in a mirror.
They chose to fight us. It is only their fault.
That happened. Just got owned. Just how it be.
It's getting cold in here, right? Or maybe just for that poor Morgan in mid. Lastly, what could go wrong stepping up to Amaterasu, who has mana consumption?
Hey, I mean, I love that, man. Please do that.
Next up, we're gonna celebrate when things work, and maybe when things do not work. First, Tempest shows us what it's like when Nuwa's stealth absolutely works.
She's about to die. Her ult's down.
And now we get to see an example of when Nuwa's stealth absolutely does not work.
What? Oh. Alright, chat, you guys didn't see that, okay?
Well, I suppose they did manage to trick Ozzy in that one, but yeah, you gotta stay alive for that to count as working. Next, here's Rexy at his absolute best.
Team 20 chat, can we get some Blazits in chat, please? This guy's about to die to a Rama ult. I'm gonna feel bad. Chat, I'm gonna do a blind Rama ult. You guys ready? 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 Here it is. Ready? Oh my god! Oh my god! I just knocked over my ball. Are you serious?
And here's Rexy not at his best.
Like, what am I losing to? Excuse me, sir? Are you...
You should probably stick to arena.
What the f killed me?
Yeah, Rexy, what happened was Bologna damage. Yeah, it was a lot. In this next clip, Vin is gonna show us his best and his worst at the same clip.
So fast, man. Oh, he's dead.
It's gonna be a kill. It's gonna be a kill. Is it a kill?
Bruh!
Is it a kill? So nice. It's a kill.
Just die, man.
Listen, Vin got the kill in the end. 100% of the time I dropped that one, so not gonna give him a hard time. Next up is gonna be some maybe unusual builds, some unorthodox builds, and we're gonna show you them absolutely working. First, if you die this quickly to full damage Cabrakan, were you ever really there in the first place? Well, I wonder how much we're going to see Panatom play Cabrakan jungle next season after that. Now remember, if you want your clips featured in the next episode of This Month in Smite, make sure you use that link in the description, and I'm going to leave you on this disgusting attack speed slow build Fine OK was rocking.
Did you guys see that?
Okay, you know what? I cannot leave it here, Jordan. Go back. Look how slow these auto attacks are. Fine OK attacks 8 times, and this Bakasura only gets 4. It's crazy. Okay, maybe I know I said the last clip, but this time it's the actual last clip. Killing someone who's AFK doesn't always work out.
Lucky.
It's happening right now. Scylla gives no. Wait, he ulted? What the fuck? Imagine if he kills him. Oh,
You're bad!
God.
You're so bad! You f***ing my you
Welcome back, everybody. What an amazing show as always. Finch with that silky smooth, I was gonna say skin. Your skin is great, but voice as well. Always soothing us with all of his hot takes and everything. Amazing job as always, Finch.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. I got kind of 2 compliments for 1 there. I'll certainly take that as another great episode of This Month in SMITE. I want to make sure we tell you all watching, we really appreciate you. We missed you all over kind of this long break we took from the show, but we are going to be getting back into the groove, so make sure you stick around for us. We'll have plenty more episodes coming out for you all, so make sure you're watching. And I kind of want to talk to you all about what you got up to during that long break. Tina, your life always sounds like the best of sitcoms. Anything amazing happened for you?
I really can't. I mean, I would like to say it, but I can't. I did some really cool stuff as an extra on some stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and that was what I did on during my holidays, and of course also spent time with some family. It was really small, sadly, but yeah.
Okay, well that's awesome. I mean, for his, we didn't get a whole lot, but I think that's a pretty good amount for what you told us there. I'm looking forward to finding out more.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see whatever it is that you're an extra on.
Yes.
'Cause
Anna, what can you tell us about
extra? In the nicest
Anna, what can you
way,
tell us?
We love you.
We absolutely love you. What can you tell us about your time, Anna?
I did a whole bunch of nothing. I sat around, I drew, I worked, I ate, and I spent time with a small group of family, as you're supposed to. But overall, it was a different type of holiday season, but it was still full of love and good food and happiness. So I'm really glad to be back. And yeah, I miss you guys. So that was my whole holiday.
Same. Missed you all as well. Certainly deserving of a round of applause. I did manage to see like a couple members of my family, not a whole lot, but I did have my little cousin come up and go into great details about a previous breakup that I had. She wasn't okay with that. It was mutual. She had to know that it was me who got dumped. But she also then judged my new girlfriend that I'm with right now. So she got deep into my personal life. That's what really stands out for me
Who
when I
is
think about my
she?
holiday time.
Who dumped you?
Well,
Give me her
she was
social
right to do
security
so.
number. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, are we still?
Nice.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sure she's great.
Well, it's so nice having you all have my back. What a great return this was. We didn't miss a beat on it. It was, oh my god, the art show and This Month in SMITE. So we have the update show coming up next. Get ready for some cool stuff coming to SMITE.
so bad. I got it bad for you. You give me good love. You're like a dream come true. They say it won't last. They say you're wild and free. I know you never were a one-man woman. I was hoping you would give that all up for me. I get so confused. I love it when it's only me and you, doing all the things we know we shouldn't do. This is way too good, it can't be true. So tell me what your game is, girl. When you touch me, feel so good, I can't contain it. When you love me, I'm so high, so confident, yeah. When you say I'm the only one, I must admit it. I get suspicious, just a little suspicious. I shouldn't doubt you. I'm all up in my head. When I'm without you, I start to lose my shit. I just been hurt before. Stranger's t-shirt on my bedroom floor. Excuse me for being suspicious. It's just that I get so confused. I love it when it's only me and you, doing all the things we know we shouldn't do. This is way too good, it can't be true. So tell me what your game is, girl. When you touch me, feel so good, I can't contain it. When you love me, I'm so high, so confident, yeah. When you say I'm the only one, I must admit it. I get suspicious, just a little suspicious. I get suspicious, just a little suspicious. I get suspicious, just a little suspicious. So tell me what your game is, Cause I haven't slept for days, not slept for days, yeah. Baby, love is never painless, no. Excuse me for being suspicious. When you touch me, feel so good, I can't contain it. When you love me, I'm so high, so confident, yeah. When you say I'm the only one, I must admit it. I get suspicious, just a little suspicious. 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 I get suspicious, just a little suspicious.
Hello and welcome in everyone to the 8-3 Talons of Tyranny update show. I'm Titan Isaiah, community manager and your host for today, and we've got a show that is just jam-packed with so much awesome stuff to go over. We've got balance, we've got a visual rework for Sobek, everyone's super excited about that, a ton of amazing skins, including the next tier 5 skin. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the show, but of course we've got balance to break down. I've got Clumsy and Pon from the design team, but I've also got a special co-host with me today. I've got Titan Cupcake. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Asking, how are y'all?
Yeah, doing great. Glad to have you here, Cupcake.
Awesome, awesome. Well, like I said, we have got so much to go over, so let's get right into it. Let's start talking about what's coming up in the 8-2 bonus update next week, and we'll kick it off with bonus balance. And we've got a big topic towards the top here for balance. Let's talk about healing a little bit. It's kind of been the talk of the town. We addressed it at the start of the season, but we're going to be making some additional changes here. And we've got a lot to go over, so we're kind of bunch everything up together. Patch notes are live on the site if you will want to follow along with us. But to get things started, let's talk about the global anti-healing aura changes that we're going to be making. We're going to be decreasing the time window where full healing is allowed after successfully brawling. And to talk about all this healing stuff, I'm going to defer to Pon.
So the big thing here is what we saw with the latest season patches. We did two things. We wanted to address in-combat healing and out-of-combat healing. So out-of-combat healing was something we wanted to really decrease, and with the global anti-healing adjustment, we actually did accomplish that. We saw the kind of out-of-combat healing go down, and to offset that, we wanted to encourage in-combat healing a bit more directly, so we gave Divine Ruin, Toxic Blade, all the anti-heal items a bit of a nerf. After reviewing all the data, it seems like in-combat healing is too strong with those changes, so we're doing a few things. Mostly we're bringing up global anti-heal so that it's quicker to kick on, so you really have to be in combat to get a heal, no more hitting someone and using 3 seconds or so to heal up outside of like direct combat. But we're also bringing back basically all the nerfs that we did to all the anti-heal items, because in-combat healing was too strong when we did kind of pull those back. So you'll be seeing basically a full revert of every anti-heal item that we did in this bonus balance patch.
Yes, to just kind of go down the list, all the anti-heal items that we nerfed are just going to be seeing reverts going into 8-2 bonus balance. So Divine Ruin, Brawler's Beat Stick, Toxic Blade, Pestilence, Contagion, and Shadow Steel Shuriken, all seeing their healing reduction increased back up to 40%. But we've also got some... Go ahead, Pon.
Real quick. It's important to note also we didn't revert the duration change that we did, because we do think that the duration change is very closely related to the global anti-heal aura and that duration. So we did keep it so that it doesn't stay on you as long, but the intensity is there.
Correct. And to kind of go along with this, we've got just one additional healing item nerf that we're going to be seeing in bonus balance with Katakea's Shield, going to be increasing the cost from $2,250 up to $2,500.
Yeah, this was an unintended change. When we changed some of the other items around, this item got an unintended cost nerf. We're just basically bringing it back to what it should have been, which is 2,500 gold.
All right, well, that wraps it up for the healing changes. Let's pass along to Cupcake, and she's going to walk us through some of the crit stuff.
Sweet. Well, we do have a nerf coming for Fail Not, where we decreased the physical power from 45 to 40 and decreased the critical strike chance from 20% to 10%, but then we also added an increase of the critical strike chance on marked enemies from 15 to 20%. So do you guys want to go into that a little bit?
Yeah, as people are getting used to Season 8, we're definitely seeing the rise of the Hunter meta. We're seeing, sometimes crit being used quite a lot, or even sometimes double Hunters. Their starter items are pretty strong, and their power curve is also pretty strong. And with that comes Fail Not and a couple of other items that we're going to be talking about soon. We just saw, Fail Not has been really popular because of the different stat distribution it has. It's got a little bit of everything that you might want. So we're just going to bring that down slightly. I think it's still going to be really popular. Bringing the crit chance from its main stat line to its passive is also going to make that a little bit, that unique niche aspect, a little bit more interesting. And I'm hoping to see a little bit more crits as well on those non-hunters on the team.
Sweet. Alrighty, well, moving right along, we also have a buff for Spectral Armor. The passive is what is getting buffed here, so we are going to be decreasing the amount of damage that critical strikes deal from 50% to 40%. Why is that?
Yeah, so this goes along right with Fail Not. We just want to make sure that crit as a kind of a stat line at build path, the option to counter it still also exists. Spectral, even in a situation where crit was really strong, that we were seeing, Spectral still isn't being utilized that effectively, so we just want to make sure that when it reduces the critical strike damage, it feels impactful when you purchase the counter item for it.
All right, and that
Sweet.
kind of wraps it up for some of the crit stuff. We've still got one more hunter item that we want to talk about, but before we get to that, let's talk about Archmage's Gem. Going to be seeing a shift here. We're going to be decreasing the magical scaling per stack, but increasing the magical power from 100 to 120.
Yeah, Pon, do you want to take this one? Because I know you worked quite heavily on the starter items, so the balance there.
Yeah, so for Archmage's Gem, what we're seeing is there are a few characters who specifically utilize the passive too effectively. These are your new WAs. It's probably the biggest example that I think most players would be familiar with. We want to make sure that this item doesn't need to be nerfed for those type of characters too heavily, because we want this item to be utilized for all mages. So we're shifting it around a bit. So the passive is a little bit weaker, so characters who really, really utilize the passive super well don't get as much benefit out of it, but we are bringing up the power to offset that. So each character can utilize magical power pretty effectively. So this should normalize its effectiveness rather than just having it be like the super powerful pick for Nuwa.
Sweet. We've also got a nerf happening for Berserker's Shield, where we're going to be increasing the cost from 2,500 to 2,600 gold, decreasing the physical power from 50 to 40, and decreasing attack speed from 20% to 15%. Who wants to tackle that one?
Yeah, so Berserker Shields, I mean, we were talking about different hunter nerfs, but Berserker Shields being used by, warriors, assassins, hunters, it's kind of just really good in all those roles, and we think just similar to like how Fail Not was used in a lot of cases for hunters, Berserker Shield is just a little bit overstated. Honestly, we're not doing a massive change here. It's still going to be extremely effective. We're just bringing that power down and the attack speed down just a little bit, as well as increasing the cost. So you really, you're purchasing it and making a decision rather than just like fitting it in your build no matter what.
For sure.
Most definitely.
Thanks.
Yeah, most definitely. And that wraps it up for items, but let's just keep on the subject of hunters and talk about some gods getting some changes in bonus balance. First up, let's talk about Apollo. And across the sky specifically, we're going to be decreasing the power scaling per tick on the ability. Who wants to talk about Apollo?
Yeah, I'll take Apollo. So for Apollo, he's a character that we had to buff and buff and buff and buff, and then now in Season 8, he's really come into his own. Partially this is because of itemization, but also just because he's been buffed so much, people are really recognizing the strength, especially on a bigger map. And so we wanted to take a specific nerf to his ultimate capability of joining a team fight and having immediate impact. And we want to be a little bit light on this because we also know that we are addressing some of his itemization really well. Like Berserker Shield is an item you see on Apollo a ton. So he's getting a small nerf on his ultimate to impact the way he can enter a team fight, and then he's also getting itemization adjustments.
Alrighty, sweet. We've got Dancerborough, who's also going to be getting a nerf. He's getting his Fool's Gold nerfed. We're decreasing the base damage from 70, 120, 170, 220, 270. We're bringing that down to 70, 115, 160, 205, and 250. And then Uproarious Rocket is also going to be getting a decrease in the stun duration to 1 second at all ranks. Why is that?
Dancerborough is still doing pretty well. He's one of those hunters
yes,
that you see alongside Apollo being, first pick, first ban in ranked, and you see him in quite a lot of your casual games. His strengths are manyfold. His ulti is really good to engage or get the last hit on people. His taunt, we think, is actually in a really good and unique place. We don't really want to adjust too many knobs or variables on that one. But one thing that we see across the board is, his damage on his Fool's Gold. Bringing it down, not at rank 1, but at the next ranks, it's still the first ability you rank up. So that's going to dramatically decrease his wave clear, as well as that shotgun damage that we did decrease previously. So that's going to hit both aspects there. Uproarious Rocket stun duration going to 1 second in all ranks is going to be a pretty big change, especially at the late ranks and late game, where you're going to be engaging with this, trying to get someone picked off between that and his taunt or into a shotgun combo. I think the control that he's going to be lacking here, as well as the damage decrease, as well as those hunter changes we talked about earlier, will put him in a much better spot.
I'm excited about that.
Definitely. Dancerborough has definitely been performing really well in lane, but let's talk about somebody else who's been performing really well in lane from one side of the map to the other. Let's talk about Cucullin. Going to be seeing a nerf in bonus balance. Berserk, we're going to be decreasing the physical power per level when transformed. And then Barbed Spear, we're going to be decreasing the base damage on that and the ultimate ground slam ability.
Yeah, this is a god that can feel very difficult in the solo lane to fight effectively because very early on he gets access to multiple abilities and he has some extra base stats to really help him box you effectively. And we've just seen Kakolan specifically in the solo lane be very highly prioritized, very highly picked, very highly banned. So we just want to take some adjustments there, decreasing the Berserk power that he gets per level to take some of the edge off his damage overall, and then Barb Spear getting a base damage decrease, which will really affect that like level 2, level 3 transform where he's doubling up on Barb Spear and Ground Slam. So it should make it a little bit more effective to fight. You probably still don't want to fight him directly, but you're not going to die as quickly when he decides to all in you.
Sweet. We also are going to be nerfing Scylla, which I'm also excited for this one because she's always after me, it seems. So her Sikkim is going to be decreased scaling from 80% to 75% of your magical power, and Crush is also going to be a decrease of scaling from 90% to 85% of your magical power, along with decreasing magical protection reduction. Or I'm sorry, decreasing magical protections reduced from 25% to 20%.
Yeah, so I could definitely give, a spiel about how Scylla's, did really well into the last season, into this. I think you all have been asking for Scylla nerfs at this point. We hear you, we agree, and it's just we're taking down that late game and mid game, honestly, with their scaling that is just so powerful. A little bit of scaling on 2 different abilities, and that protection reduction that is pretty high at 25%. We don't want to remove any components. We still, Scylla should still have some time in the sun, but just taking off that edge off her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Most definitely. Well, that wraps it up for all the bonus balance that's headed out to you all next week. But we've also got a few really awesome skins that we want to touch on before we start talking about everything that's coming in 8.3. So let's talk about Dawn of Babylon. We've got the final bundle in this event coming your way next Tuesday. And let's kick it off with Mighty Mage Cupid, the first skin that we're going to talk about that's being featured in this bundle. I am a huge fan of this cute skin. Cupcake, I'm going to let you take the reins. This seems like something that you're definitely going to be using.
I love him. He is adorable. I love his little wand, his glowing effects and everything. He is just a bundle of joy. I think that he is going to look not super intimidating, but he will get you. So just make sure you be careful out there. I love it. The little clouds underneath and everything. Adorable.
He's got a little ghost tail too. That's hilarious.
That's so cute. It's almost like a ghost and a genie put together.
Yeah, this one turned out absolutely amazing. The model looks great. Let's take a quick listen to the voice back before we move on.
Hocus smocus, simsalabim. I am here, so now we are sure to win.
Oh,
that is perfect.
I love that.
Amazing,
I love a good
amazing. Poem. That's great. All right, Cupcake, you want to take us through the next skin that's going to be in Dawn of Babylon?
Yes, the next one we've got coming up is going to be Senpai Slayer Circuit. And oh my goodness, if I could have a whole TV show about this.
I'm loving the vibes. You already know.
Yes.
We had a Bologna skin in this theme last year, and this is just, you already know me. I've got my Crunchyroll queue set up. This looks like it's going to fit in amazingly.
It's beautiful, especially with those like gold light highlights. I love the color scheme. It's really neat.
Right.
And
Pon,
that outfit is just
if I'm
super
wrong.
cute.
It's been a minute since we've had a Circuit skin. Is that right, Pon?
I can't remember the last one we had.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while, but this one turned out amazing.
Yeah, looking really good.
Nice, nice. Sweet. Model looks great. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack before we talk about the next set of skins in the bonus update.
School's out. Time to do some demon hunting.
Yes.
That's right. I can just picture this. The anime plot is already turning in my mind. I'm ready for next season. All right. Well, let's talk about the spring holiday chest, which is going to be releasing in the bonus update next week. I know this is a fan favorite chest with a lot of amazing skins in it. So we're definitely looking forward to adding some other cool stuff to it. And the first one that we want to talk about is Lilac Bloom Hera. And I saw the card art earlier today. I love the greens and purples and the nature vibes and the mystical magic. This one turned out great. What do you guys think?
Argus.
It's gorgeous. Argus.
Yeah, that's right. Have a look at Argus.
I love seeing how Argus looks in every skin. So good.
Oh my
goodness. Gosh, I
That
love
is
it.
fantastic.
Dude, I need that dress. I need that dress. Somebody cosplay this, please. I'll buy it from you.
Our community is amazing. I'm sure there'll be a cosplay up in a couple weeks for sure. And Argus,
I hope there's an
Pon,
Argus
called it.
too.
Yeah, this Argus looks fantastic. Super awesome. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Lilac Bloom Hera.
Rally to me, my subjects. Let us greet these intruders.
I'm rallying, yes.
Yes, rally here. We don't even need the Loney here for it. All right, okay, Cupcake, let's take us through the last skin that's going to be in the spring holiday chest.
So we've got Green Knight King Arthur, who's coming up next. And wait till you get a look at this. It is insane. It is gorgeous. It's got these foresty vibes, so much green brightness, the runes, the wooden and very textured details. I love it. What do y'all think?
I'll defer to Pawn, our kind of Arthurian expert. This is a callback to some lore, isn't it?
There's definitely some. It depends on where you want to go into Arthurian lore, but there's a lot of different interpretations and stuff, and like, different cultures being brought in on different stories. But I just love like the antlers and like the tree growing in the sword. Like, it's so cool.
That's amazing. I love the hilt and the blade of the sword being like supported by the branches. I think that's super cool.
I love what we did with these spring holiday chest skins, where we've got the nature vibes, but we've really incorporated some cool fantasy elements as well. This one turned out great. I can't wait to use this one. Before we wrap up all the bonus update skins, let's take a listen to the voice pack for Green Knight King Arthur.
Dost thou truly hold to those ideals you so loudly proclaim? We shall soon see, and thy fate rides heavy upon it.
Nice. I'm loving it. Acted really, really well. Well, that is all the content that you all can look forward to in the bonus update coming your way next week. Lots of exciting balance changes, lots of awesome skins. Let's talk about some community news before we start talking about 8.3 proper. And I'm not sure if you guys saw this over the past couple of weeks, but SPL rosters are announced and all the teams are announced.
Let's go.
A huge win, and shout out to all of our amazing people. Definitely a special shout out to Avi. She put in so much work with coordinating all the teams. You've got really, really cool logos set up, all themed around SMITE. Shout out to the Solar Scarabs, one of my favorite logos coming here. But we've got all the rosters that are announced in game. You can check out all the teams and logos in game. And in 8.3, there will be all new team cosmetics that you all will be able to pick up. So if you guys want to show your support for your favorite teams, you can pick up an avatar or ward skin, and proceeds from everything that's purchased for these team cosmetics are going to go straight to the players. So be sure to show your support, wear your pride in game for the teams that you want to support. And we're ready for SPL to start up here in a couple months. I cannot wait. It's going to be fantastic here on Twitch. And speaking of Twitch, we've got some Twitch Prime gaming stuff that's going on, right, Cupcake?
Yes, we have a new Prime Gaming skin available for you to claim. It is the Fabled RDO skin. If you have Prime Gaming, you can get this skin absolutely for free. You just need to claim it on gaming.amazon.com/loot/smite. I love that skin too.
That link.
I have it
this
pulled
skin
up.
is amazing. Nice. And we've got one more piece of community news.
Yes, you also have the For Fans by Fans Fan Forge Team Fight winner.
Let's go.
Hexaline. Sumi Gods got to design their own avatar that will be coming into SMITE, and you can also check out their merch available at the Fan Forge For Fans by Fans as well.
Yes, keep an eye on our Smite Game social channels. We'll have more info for when all of the FanForge merch is going to be available for you all to pick up. We had lots of amazing submissions. I know the Pittsburgh Knights definitely had their hands full trying to pick some winners, but huge congratulations to Hexaline. That avatar, I'm definitely going to be rocking that.
Super cool.
Digging the
It's
vibes.
gorgeous.
It's sick.
The style is so nice.
It's great. All right, well, let's talk about some balance that's headed in 8.3 towards the end of March on the 23rd. And let's start it off with some items. We've got some exciting stuff item-wise coming up.
We've
got a couple item reworks. So let's talk about Sage of Stone and Stone of Fall first. So Sage of Stone, just going to see just some overall just shifts and adjustments to the stats on the item. But the exciting part is Stone of Fall. Going to be a completely brand new item. And if you guys want to follow along, patch notes are on the site. I won't go into the nitty gritty of on the stats, but I'll talk about the passive a little bit because it's exciting. Stone of Fall, the passive is going to be when you hit an enemy god with the basic attack, you gain a stack of Fall's Blessing, giving you 2% damage mitigation per stack. And at 3 stacks, you gain double damage mitigation and 20% CCR.
Yeah, so the previous Stone of Fall had a passive that was interesting, but very like niche in how it was applied and very hard to notice. We want to make something that felt more actful and impactful. And so this one really encourages you to go deep into the enemy fight, basic attack them to get some damage mitigation. And if you're successful and you can get enough hits off, you get this burst of damage mitigation and CCR that lets you really stay in the middle of a fight. So any support character who really wants to go into the middle of a fight can utilize this item. And you'll see a similar theme with Stone of Fall and Mail Renewal. Both these items are really focused with supports in mind. We want supports to have good new itemization that they can work towards.
Spoil a little bit. We've got a Mail Renewal rework coming in as well. Cupcake, walk us through it.
So we are also going to have, like you said, a rework for this one, where the passive is going to be when you are hit by an enemy god, you gain a stack up to once a second, increasing your protections by 4. Max of 5 stacks lasts for 5 seconds each. At max stacks, upon being hit, you are immediately healed for 15% of your maximum health. Allies within 35 units are healed for 15% of their maximum health over 20 seconds. This effect can only occur once every 60 seconds.
Yeah, and like Pon touched upon, they both have a very similar purpose for these new tanky and interesting support-oriented items. Stone of Fall, you're kind of getting in there with your basic attacks, you want to be aggressive. Mail of Renewal, well, you also want to be aggressive, but it's not for dealing damage, it's now for taking damage. So every time you get hit, your protection is increasing, and then we still have that healing aspect. We didn't want to take that away from the item, so that'll occur and help yourself immediately and your teammates, which I think will be pretty cool.
That sounds neat.
Kicking things off with some spicy item reworks. Definitely looking forward to seeing how these two new items fit into some support builds going forward. Another thing that's kind of been in the community, having some conversation going on, is just talking about some attack speed item changes, specifically dealing with attack speed item slows. So I'll defer to Pon here for what's going on and what we're doing in 8.3.
So attack speed slows were not intended to stack, but because there are there's a lot of technical stuff behind it. It's essentially stacking attack speed slows. We're stacking with each other because they stack and you can't really determine their strength. We have whole new tech to now determine their strength. So in this patch, attack speed items will no longer stack on top of each other. What will happen instead is the strongest will win. So in the example I kind of gave on the patch notes, it was if you have Witchblade and Ichable. Witchblade is a 25% slow. Ichable does 10% stacking 3 times. If you're hit by both, maybe 1 stack at Ichable, Witchblade's going to be the one that wins because it's the strongest slow. But once you get to 3 stacks at Ichable will now have 30%, so it's stronger, so you will only be affected by that 30% from Ichable. All effects on you will stay on you, so that when one falls off, the next strongest will take over. But now you shouldn't see people be able to mitigate your attack speed by like 100% in some cases. I know especially dual players are seeing a lot of that in their games. So attack speed items, they're very targeted to mitigate attack speed. They shouldn't shut down ADCs or basic attack focus gods entirely.
All right, well, let's talk about some starter item changes that are going to be coming in 8.3. And Cupcake, I'll let you kick us off with Benevolence.
Sure, so we've got a Benevolence buff where we're going to be increasing the health and the GP5, but this item now also has a minimum bonus gold and bonus XP value of 1. Can y'all go into that a little bit for us?
Yeah, I think I can take this one probably because it's a little bit weird. But all the support star items, we are seeing a pretty heavy trend towards Sentinel's Gift being the kind of go-to one. And so in this patch, we're looking to clean up some stuff for Benevolence and War Flag to make them a bit more competitive, and one adjustment to Sentinels eventually. But for Benevolence, the real thing is it was just undervalued. It was understated and didn't provide enough value for what it was going for. So by increasing the health in GP5, you're going to really feel the impact of this item's like ticking effect. As well as there were situations where you actually would 10% of your experience in gold would just kind of go into the ether because it couldn't round up to 1 because it wasn't quite enough experience. So now all the 10% transfer is rounded at least to 1. So you're never going to have experience go into the ether. So this should make this item significantly more impactful, and we think it's going to compete more directly with Sentinel's Gift now.
Sweet. I'm excited to see how that plays out. We've also got a nerf coming for Mannequin Scepter, where you can it no longer provides 3 flat damage reduction, and when you defeat jungle monsters who have burned you, you restore 15 health and 15 mana. Did I get that right?
Yes. So the the big thing here is Mannequin Scepter is supposed to be a jungler item with some flexible or flexing capabilities, but it really was just this kind of solo and even hunter in some situation powerhouse. So we're taking away the 3 flat damage reduction that makes it so good in lane and giving junglers some more sustain directly with Mannequin Scepter. And you'll see this as a trend with Eye of the Jungle as well. We've found that Bumba has just become so safe and so standard that it's really hard to justify going Mannequins or Eye of the Jungle, except for really specific gods. And so, while Bumba should be the sustained choice, it doesn't mean Mannequins and Eye of the Jungle don't need to have at least some to help junglers stay active and fighting in the map.
Right, that's a good segue, Pun. Let's go ahead and talk about Eye of the Jungle. We're going to talk about the whole tree. So Eye of the Jungle going to be seeing a pretty cool shift here. We're going to be increasing the power, and it's now going to provide HP 5 and MP 5 while you're in the jungle, but we're decreasing the HP 5 just stat line and the attack speed on the item.
Yeah, so just like Pon was saying, you've got your 2-tiered thing here. You're increasing the magical power to give a little bit more efficiency for the mage junglers that want to be able to use it, and they aren't forced into Bumbas for the majority of the games. And now we're changing that sustain from just being everyone HP 5 you might see hunters honestly be picking up Eye of the Jungle nowadays, but now since you're only getting that sustain in the jungle, it's really just giving that item its identity in the jungle.
Yeah. All right, next up for Protector of the Jungle, just going to be seeing some nerfs here to the item, decreasing the physical power, magical power, and attack speed on it.
Yeah, and as Clumsy was saying, we saw Eye of the Jungle get picked up in other roles. Part of the adjustments were really to kind of address that and make it more focused towards really succeeding in the jungle. But Protector of the Jungle was also just very efficient. Lots of power, lots of attack speed, lots of protections. It just needed a toning down on its own right. So it's getting a nerf to also make sure that it's not the dominant go-to jungle starter.
Yeah, and then last in the tree, Seer of the Jungle, just some quality of life and fixes for the item. The passive of the ability is now going to trigger off of Jungle Camp assists as well as kills, and we also fixed an issue where you could gain the buff permanently.
Yeah, so
That
just
seems like a
bug
good one
fix.
to fix. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Cupcake, you want to take us through Sands of Time?
Yes, we've also got a buff coming for Sands of Time, where the cost is going to be decreased from 800 to 750, and then the MP5 is going to be increased from 5 to 10. Do you guys want to go into that at all, or is that pretty self-explanatory?
Yeah, I think Clumsy can take this one.
Yeah, so I mean, we saw some nerfs previously to Conduit Gem. It's still a very good starter item, and you have to really choose between the extra damage and clear you're going to get from Conduit Gem versus Sands of Time. And now, of course, Conduit Gem has some mana restoration attached to it. Sands of Time, if we went increasing the MP5, you don't really have to make that choice anymore between the two, where you're clearly getting a larger MP5 increase or mana sustain increase from Sands of Time, as well as from that passive. And then decreasing the cost by just 50 may not seem like that much, but that's really one extra pot you're bringing to the lane. And that
I was about to say one more pot.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you.
Right. Yeah, and we got one kind of support starter item that we want to touch on. Sentinel's Gift, just seeing a cost nerf. We did increasing the cost by 100.
Yeah, I alluded to that with the Benevolence change. We're just trying to make sure all the support starters feel more in line with each other. And Sentinel's Gift at its cheap cost was just a little bit too efficient that it became hard to justify any other choice, especially with some of the strong upgrades that it has.
Sweet. Well, next up, we've got a buff coming for Tainted Steel. We're going to be decreasing the cost by 50 from 750 to 700 and increasing the physical power from 10 to 15 and the magical power from 15 to 20.
Yeah, Tainted Steel you really only pick up for, if you're going to be versing enemies that are going to be healing either in lane or maybe also later on in the match. And it's pretty solid. We're actually really happy with the way it is. That's why we're just going to be increasing its efficiency by just a little bit. 50 gold again, bringing another pot in lane, and just a little bit of power so that when you're trading against these other gods that may be healing and sustaining, you actually feel a little bit of damage yourself. Just a couple of tweaks that we think it's going to be in a pretty fair spot.
Sweet.
All right, next up we got Death's Toll with some buffs. This is a little bit of a shift. We're going to be decreasing the cost and the health and mana restore scaling, but increasing the physical and magical power.
Yep, and you'll see spoilers, because I like to spoil things ahead of time. You'll see very similar things with Vampiric Shroud as well. We just saw that Death's Toll and Vampiric Shroud, the amount of sustain they were bringing to the lane, often, we had a whole bunch of discussion about how combat should matter, how you shouldn't just be able to leave combat and immediately heal up to full. But Death's Toll and Vampiric Shroud were kind of creating those scenarios. Death's Toll in particular just felt very strong because of that, and so we're tweaking it to be sustain is a +1, not the defining feature of it. So you're going to be sustaining less, but because of that, its cost is going down and you're getting more power so you can brawl more effectively. So you'll just have that nice sustain as a +1. And then I guess before we go on to Vampiric Shroud, we have Death's Embrace.
Let's talk about Death's Embrace just a little bit. It's no longer going to heal off of towers and phoenixes.
Yep, the split push nature of that was just a little bit too frustrating. It did enable some very kind of passive, slow, turtley scenarios where you could just really like outweigh the enemy team and they'd be scrambling to defend and you could just immediately go poke the Phoenix for a little bit of health and you really wouldn't put yourself at risk. So we're just taking away that, just making the focus on Death's Embrace to heal in combat rather than more PvE scenarios.
Sweet, and that will lead us into Vampiric Shroud. That's getting a shift. Pom-Pom, can you give us a little bit of insight about why we are decreasing the cost from 100, decreasing the health restored from 6 to 4, decrease physical protections from 15 to 10, and increasing magical power from 15 to 25? I know you kind of went over that a little bit, but is there anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, the big thing here is Vampiric Shroud, why really good at keeping you alive in lane, was it made it very difficult to ever use as anything outside of like a soloing matchup, even if you felt like you need a little bit more sustain in mid, because its clear was so low. It traded too much to make you too tanky to mitigate your ability to clear the wave, so we're evening those gaps. So now we'll provide less health, less protections, still pretty impactful stuff. It still has this lifesteal on it, but it'll also have more magical power to really help you compete more directly with wave clear, especially against the likes of Conduit Gem.
Sweet.
All right, and then last up for items, let's talk about War Flag and War Banner. For both items, we're going to be increasing the buff duration from 8 seconds to 10 seconds.
Yeah, really this one is just to help it feel pretty cohesive and, have good synergy with other items with similar effects. So for example, you have this and you get the buff duration, you tie it in with something like Talisman of Energy, and now they're just going to have a linked duration. It's going to feel way better to pick up those items that are going to be working well together.
That wraps it up for all the items. Let's get into gods, and I'll let Cupcake kick us off with Amuz and Cobb.
Bees. So we're going to have some buffs happening with Amuz and Cobb. Hives is going to increase the max hives from 6 to 7. That makes me worried, to be honest. I'm excited to hear what y'all have to say about that. And then Honey increased slow from 20% at all ranks to 20, and then 22.5, 25, 27.5, and then 30% per rank.
So yeah, so Amuz and Cobb is one of those characters that really pops in and out of the meta, often just based off how survivable he is. And one thing we want to focus on here is making sure that in the later stages of the game, he has the tools needed to really create distance amongst like himself and his enemies, and make sure his hive network remains strong when it could be like really difficult to try and place him ahead of time. So giving the extra hive means that you can have more hives around the map to kind of create your network, as well as the increased slow on Honey really helps peel off targets that are trying to get to you. Just that little bit of extra 10% is probably enough to really give Amuz and Cobb all he needs to really succeed in the meta.
All
right, sweet.
Speaking of Oz, we've got Opwash up next.
Nice.
Going to be seeing a buff here at Opwash. Hollow Ground going to be increasing the healing, and then Corpse Explosion going to be increasing the initial damage.
Yeah, I mean, Outwash, we've done a couple of tweaks here and there, and anytime he goes a little bit over the line, we'll get complaints, and you see him in every single game forever. So, and then we bring him back down. We wanted to find a different approach this time. We're increasing his healing on his passive just by a little bit to help him sustain a little bit better in lane, as well as in later team fights too. And Corpse Explosion, we're looking specifically at the initial damage scaling, so that way when you're exploding very few corpses, or maybe even none, you're at least getting a little bit of damage out on your opponent, and you're not really feeling unrewarded for that.
All right. Now on to our spicy balance change of the update. I'll let Cupcake talk about Athena. So spicy.
Athena is getting a buff where Confound, we're going to be increasing the duration from 1 second to 1.2, and then it'll increase per rank. And then it also now deals 50, 80, 110, 140, 170, plus 30% scaling. Who wants to go into that?
Yes. Yeah, so Athena is one of those characters that, like, I have memories of Athena being the dominant support to go to, but those memories are like 5 years old at this point. Like those we haven't actually seen Athena in pro play or like top end play really that much at all. And so after seeing this for so long, we wanted to give Athena some more control and some more on-demand damage when she's in situations where she doesn't have her whole team helping her. So Confound will have a longer taunt earlier on to help her confirm some extra damage and provide a little bit more CC with her lane mate, as well as it now brings some damage too. So when you get that little extra burst needed to potentially get a kill off your taunt, or to like really poke the enemy out and make sure that they aren't going too low. So just nice adjustments to Athena to really give her strength a highlight so that she can see more play.
Sweet. We also have a really spicy one coming up next too, Isaiah.
Oh yeah, for
Tell them about
Cupid. Let's talk about Cupid. He's got a quality of life change that's coming up. For Heart Bomb, the ability is now going to have audio and visual cues to signify if the Heart Bomb is going to stun or not.
Yeah, I think this is just something that's really important so that you can play around that Heart Bomb. Cupid, of course, is going to know whether that next attack is going to stun enemies, but that's going to be really important for enemies to be able to play around Cupid. So I think this quality of life will be a really big change for how you lane and you do team fights with Cupid.
Sweet.
All right,
I'm
you want to talk
a
about
little nervous
Hachiman.
about that Cupid one.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hachiman up next. We've got we're going to be doing some changes here. Going to be decreasing the post fire of the ultimate. He'll still need to complete the post fire animation before he can do further actions though.
Yeah, so this was a fix of a fix. We wanted to make sure that Hachiman, specifically when he exited his ult and dash, we weren't breaking animations, and players understood what was happening there. But we made the post fire a bit too long, as well as it felt clunky. So now this timing will not only better match the kind of feel of what this ability should be doing, but it should feel responsive as well when you're actually playing as Hachiman. Basically, just removing the clunk that we introduced trying to fix an issue.
Sweet. Next up, we also have a Horus buff for Updraft and Fracture. Both of those are going to be getting, their cooldowns are going to decrease.
I need to find out real quick. Who wrote the dev notes for this one?
I think I did.
I think it's hilarious. I always give a shout out when I'm like looking through changes. Horse's wings guys are now 8% specifically more aerodynamic, and it's so true. We calculated this. He's in exact position, and I love it. If you're playing Horus as a support, really, which is where you usually see him, even if he is a warrior, he's definitely one of those characters. His cooldowns are generally pretty high, and when you rank them up, you want to get some more value out of them. So right now, the cooldown for Updraft and Fracture, especially when you use them together in synergy, they're going to be a little bit lower. He didn't have always the best routes to cooldown reduction in his items, and this would be really helpful for him in lane and in team fights.
Cool.
All right. Moving from Horus, let's talk about some Loki buffs here. Coming in 8-3, Flurry Strike. Going to be increasing the hit scaling on the ability. Pond, what's going on with Loki?
Yeah, so this is specifically the really rapid hits, not the final hit. And this is something that we saw from Loki players where they're talking about like the amount of damage and time commitment for Flurry Strike to feel rewarding. And we wanted to make sure that we weren't going too far in the direction of previous Loki where Loki didn't have much counterplay. And so in this case, we're looking to just increase the scaling of Flurry hits so that when he is building those power routes, when he is getting all of his Flurry Strikes out, it feels rewarding for the time investment he's getting in. So this actually results in a 7% increase per hit, which is a 35% scaling increase total on this ability. So if you can find opportunities to get this to channel, it'll feel very impactful. And even if you can only get a few hits in, it's going to be more impactful than it currently is in live.
All right, sweet. Going straight into the Mulan buff. Her spear thrust is going to have an increased slow duration from 2 to 3 seconds. Grapple is going to decrease the cooldowns. And Divine Mastery, this ability can now be canceled early.
All right, so
that's a big one.
Yeah, that's going to be a humongous one. We know that every time we talk about Mulan, this is kind of being brought up almost every single time. So it's something that we wanted to work on, and we can now finally deliver to you guys. If you do hit an enemy with Divine Mastery, you can use your cancel input. So if that's right-click on your keyboard and mouse, or whatever you have configured for your Xbox settings and your PS4 Switch settings, you can now cancel out of it. So you don't have to go from your dash into the knock-up or arrow. You can do one component. So you can go do your dash into your knock-up and then cancel out of the arrow if you want to just leave. You have a lot more flexibility there. I think that's going to help a lot with, as well as we noticed that, she's performing well, but it's not where some of these other warriors are. So Spear Thrust is going to get a little bit of utility increase with that slow duration. We think that's going to help her a lot more in the late game when you're chasing down enemies. And similarly, Grapple, we're decreasing its cooldown from 16 seconds flat, so that way you can chase enemies or maybe even use it on against the wall, try and save yourself a little bit more often.
Sweet.
I'm definitely looking forward to these Mulan changes. Mulan is my bae.
Yes.
I love her.
Pretty exciting.
All right, next up we got Set. Gonna be seeing a nerf here. Spawn of Set is now not going to trigger item effects, like for Hydras, for example.
Yep. So the big thing here is Bubba's Hammer. This item basically let you create a spawn of Set, basic attack, create another spawn of Set, basic attack, create another spawn, basic, so on and so forth for basically ever. And this was, we were considering this, especially because other characters have good synergy, like Tsukiyomi, for example. The one and basic attack after that and getting the shuriken back is also very similar, but this felt like a specifically high break case that was kind of against the spirit of the item. And so we're removing that as a capability from Spawn Set. This ability has some other interactions with getting cooldown refunded from the ultimate that don't behave exactly as you would expect it to work in these scenarios anyway. So this just makes it so that this ability can't kind of abuse that break case scenario.
All right, cool. Moving right along, we also have a soul buff coming your way, where Unstable Manifestation, it says heat now takes longer before it starts to decay from 4 seconds to 6 seconds.
Yeah, so with the start of Season 8, we saw a decent popularity change for the different mage ADCs. I think everyone's noticed that Kronos has gotten a lot better with that, with his playstyle as well. Olorun and Freya definitely have their places. Soul, everyone kind of wanted to keep trying, but her passive is something that we've tweaked so many times in the past that we wanted to just make it feel a little bit less limiting. So having the duration change for the decay to start from 4 to 6 seconds means that when you're going in between waves to just hitting enemies or trying to go into the jungle to try and hit some of the jungle buffs, you now have a little bit more uptime on that passive, which is going to help a lot and make sure you don't need to just proc abilities while you're traveling between lanes. Instead, you might have that passive up.
Okay.
All right, couple more gods to go here. Next up, let's talk about Thor. Berserker Barrage is going to be seeing a buff here. We're just going to be increasing the physical power scaling on the final hit.
I think we've gone full circle on basically all the kind of like soft reward characters where they really strong,
Yeah,
really
seriously.
nerf, and now we're coming back a little bit with a buff. Thor Berserker Barrage, again, similar kind of like to Loki Channel. This actually feels pretty good front-loaded, but the final hit didn't feel quite like it had enough weight behind it, and it didn't really give him enough incentive to build anything other than really Bruiser. So we want to make sure that Berserker Barrage, if you do get the full channel off, it feels very rewarding, and so that extra 10% is going to help him secure some kills that he otherwise wouldn't be able to.
Alrighty, and last up for right now, we have a Shivalanke buff coming for Poison Darts. A couple things about that. Increase the max darts enemies can be hit by from 3 to 5. So this affects hit damage only and is reduced on extra hits. Poison still does not stack. And then increased max darts fired total from 10 to 15. This creates a much smaller gap between darts at max range and a higher likelihood of more hits at close or mid-range.
Yeah, Pondy, what's this one? I know you worked on it directly.
Yeah, so the big thing is, especially for Shivalanke, he has so many basic attack synergies that you can kind of often just hold left click and be successful, and his abilities don't, outside like their small utility, they don't feel like they have that much impact. Poison darts, especially, like if you're trying to like poke someone at max range and you're hoping to get the slow to close the distance, often there's just a ton of dead area in between those darts, and it can be very easy to miss. I want to make sure that this ability feels impactful when you do choose to use it. And so not only are you getting the extra damage if you are up close on someone and can hit multiple darts on them, but also just more darts being fired just to make sure that those dead zones are not quite as large, making this ability more consistent and a potential source of damage now.
Sweet, well, I'm
Definitely
excited to see that in game.
exciting. Yeah, it's going to be dope. It's going to be awesome. All right, well, that wraps it up for all the balance that's coming everyone's
Can
way.
I put
Clumsy,
one quick thing out there? Yeah, sorry. I just realized that we went through all of this, and I know a lot of people are thinking about it as well, is that we went a whole patch and we didn't bring in any information about Tiamat. You know, we've had a lot of a time where people I've been playing about her. You see there's nothing here, and I know a lot of people are curious, so really quick spiel about that. Tiamat has released, I believe, with her stats being at the bottom 10% win rate for Conquest, which I know you guys may or may not believe. but it's kind of what we expected. It's kind of what we kind of hoped for as well. Her variance is extremely high. A lot of good players are playing her and succeeding in mid lane, in the solo lane, and maybe in other roles as well. A lot of other players are still getting used to her, so we really want to give her some time to ride, really see how people react to her and react while playing her and see where she changes. And I'm sure you can expect some more Tiamat changes in the future. We just want to give her a little bit of breathing room.
No, that's great insight. Thanks so much, Clumsy, for bringing that up. I know people have definitely been talking about Tiamat. So we've got our eyes on her. We'll keep on working, and maybe we'll have something next update. But until then, we'll be right back on the other side of this quick break.
Hey there, everybody. Aggro here. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to our man, Will. We partnered with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, as we love to do, and had a chance to show Will around the Hi-Rez studio.
It was an absolute pleasure showing Will around the studio and giving him just a little bit more insight on what goes into making games.
Then we got a chance to bring him over here towards the esports building, or the cool building, as I like to call it. Show him around what we do over here, and of course, get a chance to accomplish his wish. We hooked him up with a beast PC, thanks to our friends at Zydax.
Hey everybody, my name is Marissa and I have the privilege of working for Make-A-Wish Georgia. Thank you for all the events and fundraising that you all have done and contributed to. I know that William and Devontae are going to really, really enjoy their computers that you guys spec'd out for them, tricked out for them.
I want to give a quick shout out to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Love working with the people over there and accomplishing as many wishes as we can.
Welcome back, everyone. I just got to give a huge shout out to Will. Definitely wishing him the best of luck in his ranked queues with that beast of a PC that we're
finally warm in Miami.
But we've got so much stuff to go over here. We've got some quality of life stuff, and I've got a new set of awesome people with us. We've got Tina, Spin, and Ajax here. So let's go ahead and get right into everything that's going on here. We have got some quality of life stuff that we want to talk about. And let's kick things off and briefly talk about some West Coast servers. AJ, what's going on with the West Coast server regions? I know we talked about it a little bit. What's going on?
All right. Oh, wait, can you hear me? Is everything good? I just jumped in the middle of everything. Okay.
Got you.
Sweet. No, excited to be here. I'm just not used to jumping in the middle of the patch show.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
West Coast servers.
Usually towards the top.
So yeah, totally new region. We've been testing this in PTS, and we are looking to move this into live. SMITE, is kind of primarily an East Coast game. We have a lot of players from there, but we want to continue to grow the region elsewhere. So we're opening up new servers so players can play on the West Coast, US, and just get a much better experience. So this is something, it's going to be very agile, very flexible, something we're just going to be testing, see if people like. We're going to have a specific prompt to all North American players. When they log into the game, they'll see a reminder. So hopefully this will move more people over to the region. We want to try to get as many people over there as possible so we can see really how many people want to try it. So something we're going to be looking at closely, and I think it's really exciting, honestly.
Yeah, most definitely. We've got another super exciting quality of life update that I'm sure our content creators are going to enjoy. Let's talk about ISIS, or should I say ESET. We are officially changing the name of this goddess going into 8.3. AJ, give us just a little bit more context on what's going on.
Yeah, so this is something we've been talking about for a long time. This is the most common name for this Egyptian goddess, but unfortunately, there's some YouTube algorithms and other types of, streaming software and things like that that don't like it when you use this name. And specifically, even we think that there's places that can detect the text on screen with those characters causing problems. So changing the name will help that. It's going to help our content creators. This name is something that a lot of people are attached to and we are aware of, but this goddess is actually very well known for having lots of different names. It's kind of part of her lore. She has lots of different spellings, lots of different pronunciations. Isis was even possibly pronounced Is instead of Isis. And Iset has a lot of cool nods to ancient Egyptian. The T sound at the end of a word tends to be a feminine marking for a proper noun. Set also tends to be a word for throne. So as Set is like the usurper of the throne, Iset is also like a queen type of name, right? So there's some really cool background there. There's a lot of other names that could have been acceptable. Aset, Auset, Wusa, Isa. a couple others, but we chose this one for a few of those reasons that I just listed. And this is something, you know, we expect a lot of players to still say the old name verbally or still call her whatever they want, and that's okay. But the fact that the text is changed and that our content creators will have option to call this goddess by a different name should just really ease our ability to make videos and, you know, all sorts of art related to the character.
Definitely. I know lots of people, it's been, you know, kind of in the discussion in the community, and super excited to finally get this one done. But we've also got another thing that the community has been talking about for a long time that I know we all are super excited to execute on. And before we hop into it, I just realized I did not properly introduce all of our new friends here. So we've got Tina alongside AJ from the design team, but we've got a new face here. We've got Spin from the concept art team here to talk about some of the awesome stuff content-wise and skins and visual updates that we're going to be talking about. So let's talk about Sobek seeing our visual update going in the 8.3 update. And I'll defer to Spin and AJ just kind of on the direction that we wanted to take Sobek as we get the card art ready and the in-game model to show off. And we'll also go in-game briefly to talk about and show you all off the Croc Boy.
First love in Smite and closed beta. He was the only god I played. I'm from Florida, so I thought the Gator god was cool. I'm really glad to see the remodel, and of course, as a remodel, the more general goals, Sven can talk about maybe some of the more specifics, but remodels are intended to, you know, be inspired by a lot of as much of the original visuals as possible, and still be recognizable as the character. So the Sobek is going to have similar size and shape and proportions. You know, he's very bulky, like he always has been. I know there was a popular suggestion to make him much more taller and slender, but we were concerned that people wouldn't really recognize him as Sobek for that regard. So he's got his similar proportions and a lot of things that were inspired by the old model, but all brought new looking, you know, high def and looking way more intimidating and fierce instead of a little bit more low res, you know, as people like to say around here, as the old one. And of course, the classic skin will still be available. And Sven could probably share some more details about the specific choices for his armor and his details.
Yeah, the redesigns are always really fun. I personally really enjoy working on those, and I know that Raymond, who worked on that one, really enjoyed it as well. You get a chance to redesign that character and improve him and kind of level him up in his looks-wise, but you also have to consider, like you were saying, honoring the old model, because a lot of times people recognize certain things about him, and you want to preserve as much of that as possible while still improving upon it and giving it a whole new look.
Most definitely. And I just got word that the team is still actively making sure Sobek shows up the best that he can be. So we unfortunately won't be able to go in game during the update show, but he'll be available on PTS for all of you all to check out on Friday. So with that, let's start talking about some of the awesome skins that we've come in 8.3. And we're going to start it off with the Plushie Max chest, and Plushie Kernanos is going to be up first here. The super cute, Tina, I'll let you take point on this one. What's going on with Plushie Kernanos, and how you feeling about this new little plushie theme that's getting added to the line?
Sure.
Look at the card art.
it's super cute. There's plushy pigs and buttons and very cool looking textures that look like you're wearing wool.
Oh, look
and
at
don't
the little
want to put them
plushie
into
piggy.
that's what I'm saying. You don't want to put them into the dryer because they'll shrink, right? So, yeah, this is really, really cool. I for sure like it. All his abilities look like this too, so I'm very excited.
Definitely. The model turned out great. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Plushie Kernanos.
I'm sure to be someone's favorite toy.
Most definitely. But like Tina said, do not put him in the dryer or he will shrink. Next up, for all the content that's coming in 8.3, let's talk about the Birthday Bash event. It's March and we got Smite's birthday this month. It's crazy that, you know, we've been here and keep on going, but you know, March means an exciting time for Smite, but we've also got, you know, an awesome event that's coming with the birthday as well. So if you guys remember, we had the birthday submission program go on social media a couple months back. We've got awesome, cool cosmetics that you'll be able to earn one a day for 15 days, and we had the help from some awesome community artists to create some avatars and global emotes and jump stamps. So I got to give a shout out to Cherry Cake 4, Teal Koi's, Dry Bones, 10606, B-Fish, K-Paro, and Neku Demon, all seeing some awesome artwork that's going into this Birthday Bash event. And if you earn 6 out of the 15, you'll be able to earn the next skin that we're going to be talking about, Classic Ao Kwang Kukulkan. And I know AJ is our OG. I'll let him take the lead on this one. What's going on with this one, AJ?
Well, people have been asking for the classic skins for so long. You know, a lot of people have been really liking how our new remodels preserve the classic skins. A lot of people have been wanting us to bring back the classic skins. So this has been one of kind of my secret side project that I've been working on with the art team to try, like, what can we dig up for these old classic skins and how can we get these in the hands of the players? So this is the first one to return. As part of this SMITE birthday event, you'll be able to earn it for free, and then we will be putting it on sale for a low price, like a normal classic skin, after the event is over, in case you miss it. And I just think people are going to be really excited about this, and it's just something we have had in SMITE history, so it's great to bring back. And depending on how it goes, we're going to look into seeing if we can make this happen again in the future. We have a lot of gods that have had remodels over the years. Some of them are a lot easier to bring back than others. Certain gods have had their entire anim set or their kit changed, which makes just bringing back a classic skin really difficult. So some of those might not happen, or they'll be lower priority. But we do have some more that fit, like the Ao Kwang Kukulkan, that we'll definitely be looking into.
Definitely. He is back in his full glory. Let's take a listen to the voice pack before we talk about the Battle Pass coming up.
Let's take them by storm!
Amazing. Just like I remember watching some of the old school SMITE game streams and YouTube videos, like Know Your Enemy and stuff like that back in the day. So seeing this model back in current SMITE, it's definitely hit me with the feels. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Next up, let's talk about the Battle Pass that's coming up in 8.3. It's going to be the Heroes of the Wild Battle Pass. You can hear Tina. She specifically reached out to me and was like, Isaiah, I need to be on the show because I need to talk about all these puppers and chonkers that are going to be in the Battle Pass.
This is like my Battle Pass, you guys. This is my dream. You can ask AJ.
Yeah, I mean, she's been pitching this one for a while, or we had a few skins like this. Really, we've tested a few skins. We thought they were really cool. So then we were like, what about a Battle Pass in this theme?
Yeah, this one is the first one that's being shown off right now is Heroic Husky Fenrir. So we've got dogs and cats in this pass. Tina, what is this, like a full party that's going out to battle, or what's the story behind this Battle Pass?
Yeah, so they're like a heroic team of furry animals. And they have like armor on, and they have like different classes, like one's a warrior, one's a mage, one's a rogue or whatever, right? And they're a misfit band, or like, I guess not a misfit band, but a journeying band, and they go and fight evil and shit, It's like super cute.
This one's turned out great. I'm loving the armor on Heroic Husky Fenrir. Let's take a listen to the voice pack before we move on to the next skin.
This is so much fun. I can't wait to meet all of Master's friends. I'm so excited!
This one is great. Oh my
He's
goodness.
very excited.
Yes, very excited. And I am very excited about our next skin, which is Chibi Inu Amaterasu. And super cute. Got a little Shiba Inu version of Amaterasu. I am definitely loving this skin.
Yeah, so this one is super cute, and she has a really big head, and she's another pupper. This card art is great, by the way.
Oh, well, look, it's so cute.
I know. She's like the paladin of the group. I'm pretty sure. I think. I didn't write her, so I don't remember. But I think she is. Let's just say she is.
Yes, let's just say, I think the whites and golds lean towards paladins. It definitely works. I'm loving the skin. The cute little Shiba Inu version of Ama is killing me. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for this one.
I will bring honor not only to my name, but to my family.
Yep, that's definitely the paladin vibes of the crew here. And I am interested in the Battle Pass recolor. How does Sushi Neko Bacchus fit into this band? Is he just like the chef that hooks up everybody with all the
he's
fish?
Oh my god, this card art.
He's so
He is
chonky.
so chonky.
That's a big cat right there.
Yeah. How is that boat still afloat? Oh my goodness.
I know, right? Jesus, the Kappas can't even eat him. He's that big. Anyway, yeah. So he's just the chef, you know, that follows him along. They need to eat, right? Sustenance. So, yeah. He's just fat and shit and just cooks.
Yeah, this one turned out great. So this is your Battle Pass recolor that you all will be
Oh
able to
my
earn
goodness.
during this heroic Heroes of the Wild Battle Pass. No new voice pack or
Jesus.
anything, but I'm definitely loving the recolor and the treatment. I like the yellows, the contrast in the colors are definitely great
Still
for this.
can't believe you didn't choose to make him the fur color of my cat, but I guess it's okay.
Oh, rip.
Wow.
Maybe the next one.
All right. The next one is definitely going to
The
be my
next
favorite one, and one that everyone is super excited about. We've got Necromancer Zhang Kui. We got another Zhang Kui skin coming up, everyone. It's going to be, he's just so angry. Look at him. That's
He's so
hilarious.
grumpy.
Oh my gosh. So he
He's like
is
the
obviously the
grumpiest
mage.
cat.
The grumpy mage cat chonker. Oh my goodness. This card art is amazing. I'm loving the ghosts and the demon bags and all these card arts. I'm seeing some different call outs to some of the yokais and stuff in Japanese lore, which is awesome. And look at that model. Oh my goodness.
He has a frog that is squished on his belt. It's great.
Oh, this is great. And we're actually going to be able to go in game and check out Necromancer Zhang Kui. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack before we do.
Yes, yes, yes.
They used to laugh at me. Now they will shudder in fear.
Great, great,
Yeah,
great. I'm super
very
excited to see him in
grumpy.
game. Look at him.
Oh my god! Look at that tail. I love Tails is probably really happy.
That's awesome. I love the cards, the cartoony cards. And the basics look great. That color combination of like the pink and green is definitely awesome.
He meows whenever he does his one. Oh, it's frogs.
That
That's
ult
right.
looks awesome.
Mhm.
The frog rivets are hilarious. That is great.
God, this is so good.
All right. Well, that is Necromancer Zhang Kui, and that is everything that is coming in the Heroes of the Wild Battle Pass. But we got an awesome new event that is headed everyone's way in 8.3, Talons of Tyranny. And we're going to start it off with the chest that's going to be coming out alongside this event. And the skin featured in the chest is Dino Mighty Cerberus. And this one is the cute little derpy dino is hilarious to me. This one is great.
The tail's the best.
Oh, I didn't even
It's
notice
like-
the tail.
Yeah, it's a saber-toothed tail.
Oh, this is great. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how the model turns out once we get to the...
Yes.
Yeah, look at it!
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
great. All the effects, the treatment on the fire breath looks awesome too. This is
Tried the
straight, like,
dinosaur skin
Saturday
a few
morning
different ways,
cartoons.
but we were really looking forward to the Saturday morning cartoon, like kind of cuter dinosaur, and just different types of dinosaurs is a cool way to do Cerberus. So I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, this one turned out great.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack before we get into the proper Talons of Tyranny event.
Can't we just chase butterflies and roll around in the grass all day? Come on, it'll be fun.
Oh, that one is
Any
so
Land
cute.
Before Time fans in the chat?
I know,
That's one
right?
of my
Yeah.
favorite movies of all time, and it gives
Oh
me
my
some
goodness.
vibes.
Which
from
one?
that.
Weren't there like 8 of them? That's crazy. They just
Many
kept
more.
on cranking those things out.
Yeah, they kept making them.
I know. All right. Well, let's talk about Talons of Tyranny, the all-new kind of premier summer event that we've got going on. It's going to be structured similar to some of our past summer events like Grim Omens and Divine
Grim Omens.
Uprising. I'll let Tina give just a little bit more updates on what's coming out in Talons of Tyranny before we start talking about the skins.
So, Talons of Tyranny is named after Tiamat because, Talons, tyranny. But basically, it's stretched. it's stretched like for over 4 patches. So each patch that comes out will have a chapter associated with it, and with that chapter there'll be a chest. And so like you said, that Dino Tune Cerberus that we just saw is going to be on the first chest of that first chapter, just like we had Grim Omens. And you know, there'll be 6 other items in that chest that you can roll from, and then also if you roll an item from the chest, you'll also be able to access quests that grant gems as rewards. So yeah,
all of the skins will also have a
stuff.
direct purchase price
Yes.
as an option, and all of them contribute towards the tier 4 rewards if you collect each set, and then if you collect all the tier 4 rewards is where you get the tier 5 reward, which I have a feeling we're going to be moving on to shortly.
Yes, we've got a couple more really cool Talons of Tyranny event skins before we start talking about the tier 5, but I do want to mention there'll be a buy all option available at the very beginning.
Yes, there will be.
And like AJ said, all the skins in Talons of Tyranny will have a direct purchase option for 750 gems, and they're all standard skins. So when the event is over, their direct purchase option is going to be remaining. They are going to be direct purchase skins forever. So if you miss out on the event or maybe just want to catch up afterwards, 750 gems forever in the store. You'll be able to pick up all of these cool Talons of Tyranny skins. Let's get right into the first one. Is Bit Slayer Tsukiyomi. I'm loving the video game vibes here. The armor, he is definitely the main character in like one of my favorite platformers. I could just see me playing this going forward. This one looks dope.
Yeah, another kind of new theme for us, or at least a heavy twist on a theme that maybe have considered before. But really leaned more into the stylized effect with the Tsukiyomi skin, and also just feels so different for Tsukiyomi because he's very prim and proper and edgy in his other skins, and now he's like a little bit more like wild and wacky. Oh man, this one's awesome.
Those blades look
really cool.
Sick. Oh my goodness. And I've got a note here that the ult sounds insane. Got to give a shout out to Noah. Sorry, Spen, I didn't mean to cut you off. What you got?
Sven?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just saying that this turned out really well. I was really happy with the way this turned out. I know we were pushing kind of a new take on all this, and I think we succeeded pretty well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark for that.
Yeah, this one executed really well. This one turned out great. Let's take a listen to the voice pack before we get into my favorite skin of the patch.
Oh man! This looks like a new level!
Definitely turned out great, but we got to talk about Unholy Doodle Raw. Yes! Shout outs to Raging Cajun for not only the concept, but also coming back and helping us out to complete the full splash art here. Community Fan Art of the Year Golden Bolt winner, Unholy Doodle Raw. You know we had to do it. This one turned out great. And just
the
look
3D
at
is
this.
So good.
Oh my gosh.
This skin, when we saw it, it's one of the most upvoted skins of all time. So we immediately started considering it. And there was a lot of skeptics in the community and even around the studio about, will this skin work well in 3D? And just, oh my God, it's so good in 3D. It's like, how did we ever doubt ourselves? It's so good.
Like the paper fold and like, I'm loving
Sven,
the
were you a
pencil line
skeptic or were you a believer?
I was a skeptic. I really was.
Yeah.
I'll admit it. It looks awesome.
I know there was. I know there was skeptics, and I was like, okay, yeah, I know you're right. It could be. Like, I don't know. But I guess we just have to try it and see. But it looks so good.
It's
I love
so
it.
Great.
Right.
All right, we're gonna go in game and show this off.
I can't stop smiling.
But let's take a listen to the voice pack before we go in game.
Yes, yes.
Ha! I know all your dirty secrets. They will never be erased from my mind.
The voice pack is so troll. I love it. Let's go ahead and get ready to go in game. I cannot wait to see this. Oh my God. All right.
There he is. In all of his
great.
paper glory.
Oh my goodness. Paper glory. This is great.
The eraser.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the eraser.
Oh my goodness.
No, even though that eraser is wobbling, that hit area is not changing, I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this turned out so great. Oh, the one alone just makes it spin.
The little flutters of paper, a nice touch around him.
Right.
Nice, you've got the.
Now, is he college ruled or wide ruled? Is the question.
I know, right? AJ asking the hard question.
Just a good paper joke, you know. Going back to my Dunder Mifflin days.
Oh my goodness.
So I made it so that like he knows a lot of secrets because people use like to write notes on him.
Oh, as if he's like a god of note passing. That's really cool.
Yes. So like, because in
That's
high school,
genius,
you know,
Tina.
you'd always write like stupid stuff on there, and then you'd like throw it to someone, and they're like, it's like,
Nice
I know
catch,
your
Tina.
secrets.
I know, right? Oh man, but yeah, this one turned out great. So Unholy Doodle Raw going to be available in Talons of Tyranny event, so it'll be in the event chest as well as direct purchase of when 8.3 goes live. But we still got a lot of awesome stuff to talk about, so I'm going to keep us moving. Next up, we've got Battle Tagger Scotty is going to be the next skin that we're going to feature in this event, and this one is kind of in our urban kind of theme, but some different takes here in this one. I'm loving the kind of robo armor dog that we've got here as well.
Well, when you're painting a lot, you need to protect your dog's lungs so he doesn't get too much spray paint, you know?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yep.
It's got a little bit of a, you know, dystopian future vibe to it, along with the like modern bright colors and the graffiti vibes. It's a pretty cool combination. I think the Calder just looks just badass straight up.
Yeah, the Calder is sick. I love the mask.
And then Scotty is fashionable, but still, you know, ready for anything. Ready to move. Nothing weighing her down.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to be light whenever you're, you know, climbing the skyscrapers and tagging the buildings for sure. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Battle Tagger Scotty.
Hey! Let's get together for another run tonight, right guys?
All right. Well, let's keep on moving and let's talk about some of the reward items for Talons of Tyranny. You've got our first kind of reward, that's kind of our midway reward in Talons of Tyranny, with Deathy Chibi Thanatos.
Yes.
And then I always ping the art crew for notes and talking points on this game. And the only thing that I got was that face, though. Like, look at that smile.
It will kill
He's
you.
got the biggest little cheeks.
Like, he's cute, but almost to the point of being a little bit unsettling. It's great.
That's the whole point.
Well, he is going to dive bomb you out of the sky and attack you with his creepy side.
Hit you with the combo. Oh my goodness.
Gosh.
This one looks great. I want like a little figure toy.
Yeah, he's got some amazing face changes.
Just watch. He'll like become grumpy in a sec. It's great, dude.
Does he get grumpy in this turnaround?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't think we have all the faces, but that's good to know that we've got. Yeah. Or
when you get in the game in the
PTS.
PTS, watch him on Idle, and you'll see him change some of his expressions. They are awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah,
all right. Before we get into the tier 5, let's take a listen to the voice pack for Deathy Chibi Thanatos.
Let's deliver the sweet embrace of death.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right. The final skin, we saved the best for last. Amazing, amazing work done by the entire studio and art teams and audio teams on this one. We've got Forgotten Gods Chalk, the ultimate reward for Talons of Tyranny. And I'm going to pass this to Sven because I know he took so much time and put in a ton of work on coming up with this idea.
Yeah, this one I put a lot of time and love into, as well as all of the departments that were involved in helping make this come into fruition. But yeah, so the basic idea is that Chalk is this priest who's representing these forgotten gods, and he's the last one, and he has been bestowed upon him this magic relic, and this magic relic allows him to channel each of these gods that have been forgotten into him, so he becomes their vessel. And instead of kind of just giving people like 3 skins that, you know, kind of had some kind of connection, I really wanted to really tie them together with some other stuff, including that artifact. I think it adds a lot more to it, not just in the storytelling, but just into all the action and things that are going on. 3 gods represent different aspects of humanity. So you had their optimism, and this one is Passion, and you also have Rage. And so he transforms through his ult into all of these different aspects through his artifact.
Well said, Sven.
Yeah, awesome. And I can't wait till we go in game to show this off, because one thing that I saw when we kind of teased the skin on social media, everybody's like, wait, this is all for one god? Everything looks so different, and it's crazy, and all the ideas and all the elements of the different aspects of humanity and the details in the armor. So I can't wait to go in game, but let's take a quick listen to the voice pack before we do.
Only as one can we turn back the tide of this great darkness.
Nice, and I believe we're getting prepared here. There we go. So we've got the first form here. So Spin, so which aspect of humanity is this form, and kind of what are some of the themes that you took in the visual design to kind of portray that?
So this is Optimism. He is obviously like joy, upbeat, very positive energy. He's radiant, he's shiny. There's a lot of bright colors, a lot of even radiant design aspects to him in the shapes, in the shape language. Kind of went with an Art Deco kind of vibe with him. Yeah, I wanted to make him be a little bit closer to just chalk on the ground and things like that, because we wanted to explore some other things with the other forms that would differentiate them a lot more. But he's just a lot of positive energy, and doesn't necessarily mean he's a nice guy either. He's pretty wicked.
All right, and with all T5s, we have a kind of transforming element or updating element. So how is this skin going to switch forms?
He switches forms through his ult. Yeah, you can see right there the artifact also, it animates, it switches faces up to each of the gods. So when it changes to the next god form, that's when Chaka becomes that god again.
Ah, okay. Awesome. So talk to me a little bit about which kind of aspect humanity this god is portraying.
This one is Passion, and so this is one of the things that we changed, is Chaka is now actually floating. A little bit more, the silhouette's changed, so it's a lot more lightweight, a lot more flowy. Passion, it has a lot of vibrant colors, obviously very just passionate, and deadly too. She used a lot of like flowing lines, kind of Art Nouveau jewelry is what I kind of drew upon for her design.
So all three of the characters have unique themes, unique feels, as Sven's even mentioned, subtle changes in art style, Art Deco versus Nouveau, as well as completely different anim sets. We had been paying very close attention to previous feedbacks on Tier 5s. We wanted to make sure that this Tier 5, the different forms felt really different. So you have the Optimism form. It's a little bit more of the traditional chalk, but with a lot of new animations. Then you have the Passion form, which is a floating feminine character, which is just a huge deviation, right, from chalk. And then, of course, we're about to transition to the final form, the Rage form, which has a quadrupedal feature.
I'm looking forward to this one.
All of them have tons of new animations across the entire kits. You also even there briefly see kind of the ghost of the priest character, like the hidden secret fourth character that is essentially what in the story is channeling this artifact to become the forms of the forgotten gods.
Yeah,
that's one thing that I actually wanted to. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, there we go. Pawn hitting us with the slow-mo. Definitely loving the vibes.
Took us
here.
Off course.
Yeah,
there's just so many features to this skin. There's even some more that we'll talk about later towards the end.
It's awesome. Yeah, I don't think we went through all the abilities in the Rage form, and we didn't really talk about some of the inspirations there.
So yeah, Rage, we wanted him to be kind of creepy and twisted, obviously. He's full of rage. I think it was AJ's idea, actually, to kind of give him the quadruped full design, which I really loved. It made him feel kind of tanky and aggressive. But he's dark. You got all the dark colors. That burning rage within is coming out and it's glowing all around him. And he unleashes that on his foes. I really love how this guy turned out. They all turned out wonderful, but this guy's really awesome.
Yeah, this one turned out great. And I think my favorite thing is the fact that each form just looks so unique while also kind of keeping everything kind of uniform and in line. One thing, we've got the VXG that we want to show off here. We've got the for the T5, you'll be able to switch forms either by ulting, or you can use the VXG to switch forms here. And I love the animation for the VXG, so we definitely want to show that off. So you've got the relic here and the kind of last worshiper of this forgotten mythology, just kind of choosing what aspect he wants to draw his power from. Super awesome. And this is the tier 5 for Talons of Tyranny. Lots of work, lots of awesome animation.
Bonus feature,
new
Isaiah.
emotes.
Bonus
Yep.
feature still.
Oh, what bonus feature? do you have?
The axes of all 3 characters have a kill and assist counter, and they
Whoa.
gain elements if you get enough kills and assists. So
I did not know about that.
Once you
That's
hit
dope.
5 kills plus assists on any form, all 3 forms will have an added element to the axe, and another one, and another one. There's 3 stages, I think, that the axes get more elaborate and add things to them, and then you can change forms and walk around with like a big flaming axe to show that you've been killing people all game.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks so
It
much.
also
everyone.
comes with a recall skin and I'm blanking on the other thing. It comes with another thing. But at the time you
Yeah, it's
unlock it,
kinda
you'll
like
see
the
those
final
as well.
reward bundle, right?
Yeah, as part of the
Yeah.
final reward bundle too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the animation team went all out. Those are obviously like 3 completely different characters. So the additional, most of the forms are completely reanimated, have all new
emotes
animations
for each form.
Yep. All of the emotes, all of the waves and claps, all of the abilities are all completely new and custom animations just for this tier 5 chalk. And had a great time working with Sven on coming up with this. I think it turned out really great. You know, I was really pushing for really strong differentiation between the 3 forms, and Sven was working on the theme and the background and the details, and they really came together beautifully.
Yeah, got to give a huge shout out to the audio team, who I know worked really closely with you all on trying to define the sound effects for each form and making sure that each kind of element of humanity was portrayed correctly. Tons of awesome stuff in the
emotions are kind of a
T5s.
difficult
I
theme to
know.
work with, honestly, but I think it really turned out well for it.
Definitely. And I'm definitely looking forward to playing with Forgotten Gods Chalk when 8.3 goes live. But that wraps it up for the show. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with us. PTS on Friday. Friday. Keep an eye on social media for updates. We'll have West Coast servers on PTS. Be sure to test those out. Give us
Friday,
your
as in
feedback.
multiple days from now, not tonight.
Yes. I appreciate the assist, AJ. Thanks so much, everyone, for hanging out. We will see you all on the next one.